Rajanjurani, Solka Abidali, Dilip Sadesai and Vishwanath. They make West Indies bowlers look like second-raters when those fellows came out here to bat. West Indies tried holder and keep voice. They had no other choice. They who tried with Newton Dow, but a short of the sorry they bring him now. It was Gavaskar, the real master, just like a wall. We couldn't out Gavaskar at all, not at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Gavaskar at all. Little Desmond Lewis, also Charlie Davis, they take a little shame from out we face. But Sobers as a captain, he won plenty coaching before we cricket end up in a disgrace. Beatty here that he became a father, he catch out whole first in the cover. But when Sobers here, he too had a son, he made duck and went back in the pavilion. It was Gavaskar, the real master, just like a wall. We couldn't out Gavaskar at all, not at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Gavaskar at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Gavaskar at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Gavaskar at all.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, members of the listening public, those of you in commute, those of you going to work, and those of you who are coming from work. I want to say good afternoon to you this evening and welcome to the Third Empire. We want to give thanks to God, the Creator, first, from whom all things and all blessings flow. We want to give thanks again for another day above ground, where you could eat a roti, you could eat a watermelon, you could eat a pie,
eat a fry bake.
You could eat a fry bake, as unhealthy as they may seem, because it have somewhere where you can't eat no fry bake. There's somewhere where you cannot eat any fry bake, Mr. Mitchell. So, we want to give thanks. We want to give thanks to the owners and operators of this great radio station, Mr. Neil IWER George, and his family, and by extension his staff, who have allowed us to share this platform. Again, a lot of people don't share their mic these days. And if they're sharing their mic, they're telling you what to say. We have received no such instructions on this radio station. And we want to be thankful for that. The discussions we carry on with you on the Third Empire are free from fear and free from any type of bullying. And we discuss all issues with you in earnest. I'm joined today by the esteemed fast bowler. Well, former, he's an umpire today, Mr. Selvon Mitchell. Mr. Mitchell, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, my colleague. I say good afternoon to the management, the staff, Neil IWER George, family, management, team, director, Chris Beats, the listening public, those in Russia, those in Germany, those in Iran. There are one or two people in Iran right now listening to us, you know that. Israel. Those in Africa.
You think they'll hear us?
Yeah, they're hearing us. They take a break. Once Third Empire come on, there's pause the war, you know.
Right.
We like Olea's night, you know.
Right.
Olea's night, there's pause wars and what's going on. Yeah, the pause
ceasefire.
Ceasefire.
Okay.
Let me listen to something. Probably something might come out of this that may tell us stop the war. You might learn something.
You might get a solution.
You might get a solution. Of course, the empire might come with a neutral view.
Because we have a prime minister who up there now, you know.
Talk now. Talk now, as young people say. You know I say talk now? She meeting with Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
They say talk now.
Was that what I'm saying? We have a prime minister who is up there.
Yeah.
You know.
In the game.
All we have to look for now is
Yeah.
to see what accrued advantages it brings.
Well, strategy is strategy, as you know, as a leader of organization.
Yes.
We spoke about it last session Stephen and I had here.
Yeah.
You know, people tend to commentate on, they call it geopolitics or what they call it, and all kind of funny thing and so forth.
Yeah.
And I said, you know, really and truly, all you're guessing, all you're hoping that what comes out of anything is what you all were saying to say. See what I say?
Yeah.
I say, how many of you all sitting in the White House, knowing what they're discussing? Well, you're commentating. How about you sitting in Israel, Tehran, Tel Aviv?
Yeah.
They know what discussing. What Putin discussing? You don't know.
Yes.
So some move make and people say, well, you go and do it. You don't know what you're going to do. You
too
don't
little
know.
call.
Too little.
The ball and leave the hand because sometimes.
Let me tell you, twist the hand, eh?
Right.
So a ball in a googly.
Right.
But a ball in a googly and I put some sweat on this ball. But
Right.
the umpire see.
Yeah.
So we have the Latin American countries,
Yes.
2 Caribbean islands went up, and they have the shield of the Americas.
Yeah.
And everybody beating up. I know how I interpret that. Probably my thinking is skewed in some way. I interpret that as, look, there'll be a number of activity in the energy sector in Venezuela and
Correct.
Guyana taking place.
Correct.
There'll be a lot of major U.S. companies participating in that. What is important right now? The U.S. need a leverage to have a military presence on this side, you know.
Yeah.
So if I say, hey, Rolex, you and I, we're doing some joint exercise together, and I come with my gun, you won't tell me nothing, because we're doing joint exercise together. But if we are not joint exercise, and I come with my gun, you go, what are you doing with that gun here, boy?
And
So we create the environment that allows the U.S. to position itself without thought, without reason, without wondering. How they come up with all of that? No, we fighting, and we fighting drugs, right? So like, this is how we just fight drugs. So I am looking at it as a approval to move some military asset within the region, yeah,
yeah.
to facilitate to a large extent the heightened level of energy activity that will be taking place on this side of the globe. This is my take. I might be wrong. This
Well,
my take.
I concur
I'm
with
not in no room
No, I
in
concur
White
with
House
you.
so I had to form my own take.
Good, sir. I concur with you. We are not at odds with this opinion. Because geographically, she doesn't need the whole team. Them up so. Let them Grenadians and Vincentians do what they want. You see down south?
Yeah.
Guyana, Venezuela?
yeah.
That way we need to close the door. That's where we need to close the door. And you rightly, I concur with you. I did not think about it. But where we have our assets, we need to protect them.
Of course.
We're not selling no rig for nobody to come up there and ball infidel and
There was
zoom it down.
There was one statement one of the energies said in the White House, and I
Yeah.
can repeat. He said, what guarantee are you giving us if we go down there? No guarantee.
Yeah.
You tell me the guarantee and I'm going down.
Yeah.
So you say, here what's going on. I train some missile, Straits of Hormuz, I'm locking that down.
Right.
I train down some military thing here to give us some security. Yeah? So look, go down there now and Ramajee. Oil now is what? I think it costs $100 a barrel.
100 when I was watching it a little earlier.
$100 a barrel. So look go Venezuela and start to set up, start to organize because we'll keep this shaky to give all a little room to settle down and organize all yourself.
and I give you a joke.
Now, this might take care of me. Because I don't like to go
Let me give you
with
this
joke.
I was on the plane coming home, right? Recently. And my mind sat around you. Now it's Caribbean Airlines, nobody ain't studying weight, but then I'm studying about weight now. I just wonder. So I'm in the airport and I'm on easy. I only look at the here infidel or Zionist. I only look at I have my earphones on. I said, now let me take this off.
Yeah.
Let me pay attention because the antness that has been raised.
Observe the
you
environment.
never know. Yeah. Let me don't listen to no Nicki Minaj or no radio.
Yeah.
When I'm on the plane now, I hear a lady looking and listening. I don't want to sleep. Because I just, all I want to hear is Zionist. So had something happen, and I saw somebody in the cabin, and they had a little crosstalk, and a lady bawled out, Jesus, I started clap. I said, well, like, this plane safe. Once I hear that name, this plane safe, this plane safe. This is not that flight. People on that next flight. But in humor, you're right. Geopolitically,
they
money have to be secured. You can't be setting no rig and sending no Chevron and interfering with people up so. Because we don't see what matches and oilers do.
Exactly.
A little match.
So we have to secure them, fellas. We know the largest reserve is Venezuela.
Yeah.
To make America great again, oil is still king. Yeah? All the solar they talk, oil is still king. And if we control the largest reserve in the world, then the fellas and them who does wear the little turban and think about style and we know more.
Correct.
So
We change
the game. We reposition ourselves. That is all Trump is doing, reposition the game here we're going on. Our dependency on them fellas and them there who bossing style, nah.
Well, I learned a lot today, and I was watching the BBC program, and the reporter said, when we talk about reserves, China has 250 days of reserves.
Yeah.
They could survive. Then he said, but America has 3 years of reserves.
They don't use their product. They buy other people's product and use.
And
but they keep theirs.
Wow.
They keep theirs. If the fight break out, they will live in long.
Yeah, we could live out this fight.
Live in long.
Yeah. I didn't last year just so.
Yeah.
I last year understanding that it could go where it could go.
Yep.
And if America has 3 years of reserves, then Israel is safe.
Yeah.
We could almost assume that.
And then we control Venezuela, the largest reserves now we control.
Correct.
Okay, let the war begin.
Correct.
So we are Latin America, and once we fight, okay, drugs, narco, terrorism, and all of this is a border issue.
Yes.
It deals with entry and exit.
Correct.
For we to manage entry and exit, we had to have assets on the ground, or on the sea, on the water, manning what? The border.
Yeah.
Because if it can't leave, it starves to death.
Yeah.
So we had to lock it inside, but it can't come outside.
Yeah.
Yeah? So which means with all these countries, you will see the next move is that asset being placed.
A base.
To work with you because we have superior military might. You don't have that. So we had to come and set up and show how to set up and train you all and so forth. So on all these, the Latin American, Guyana, Trinidad, they will set up a base, have 2 fog boats out in the sea and so forth and thing, and we feel safe. But they're on a bigger agenda, really and truly. They're on a bigger agenda. A bigger agenda is not drugs. You feel America don't know where all the drugs okay, then who making all, as people say, so how we go Colombia and Mexico where they making all the thing, boy?
No, you go to the factory.
Yeah, go to the factories. Everybody know the factories.
Correct.
I sure them boys in CIA done spark out where the factory is located, who doing what, who are doing the other and so forth. They know.
But the media and certain corners in Trinidad and Tobago have raised question about the Prime Minister's trip and whether it was beneficial.
Of course it was beneficial. The media had to be. Of course, let me tell you something. Early in the game, when the Caribbean was speaking about zone of peace or zone of some kind of thing like that, I hear them, but over 65% of our export go to the U.S. I had to be friend with he. If only in the Caribbean, Mr. Zones of Peace, say, oh, you see at 65, if he take it, we will take it, and we got ramp. But if he say, here we're going to train at all the plane bad, 40% tariff. We had to watch and eat one another, you know.
Yeah.
So you had to be strategic in terms of, at the end of the day, my country come first in terms of priority. Yeah? Make Trinidad great again.
Yeah.
Right? Because we know what this administration inherit. Our major export goes to the US. Our major trading partner.
Yes.
And we see the, I don't want to call it erratic. I want to be kind with words today. The economics of Trump in terms of, well, you get me vex, Spain get me vex, no good for all you.
Yes.
He like me, all right, 2% tariff.
He ain't playing with me again.
He can do that.
Yeah.
And we have to be mindful and not go along to get along with people who can really take you nowhere. And look at this, look how interesting it is. Eh? Look, check the ball, check the ball, check the ball. So zone of peace. You see what Jamaica did? Rubio say, hey, Cuban, Jamaica say Cuban, no go home, yes? I thought he is zone of peace. All Cubans go home from Jamaica. So I stand up and say, no, I do what's best for my country. I have time with he. I need the medicals and them from Cuba. At the end of the day, your country survival, it come like the plane crashing, what I tell you? See by yourself first.
I heard that.
See by yourself first. So he know full well, a lot of Jamaican depend on what? The US. For what? Trade, and two, the, what we call the barrel.
Yeah.
The barrel money. Sending money back home from the US to Jamaica.
Yeah.
You don't want to rock that boat?
Yeah.
You don't want to rock that boat? For 20 doctor? 20 doctor, my people, my trade, my this, here, 20 doctor, go home. And when you use a reasonable man test,
Yes.
you realize you really have no choice, you know. When you use the reasonable man test,
Sometimes
you know.
somebody asks you a question, but you don't really have a choice.
When you look at...
The appearance of options.
yeah. You have no choice.
If a man tell you jump or shoot, the result is the same.
If the US president can tell Canada 40% tariff, and Canada beating up and jumping up, big Canada, who is he to tell Trinidad a 60% tariff, boy? Who is we to the US economy that we so critical or needed? And he tell Canada that who have the power for New York and all them states coming from Canada,
Correct.
and he stand up to them and say, hey, tariff. So we have to be mindful how we play the ball, and we have to let good sense prevail, really and truly, when it comes to these things. What I look at something and people are saying nothing required. I think this budget was pegged at $70-something a barrel of oil.
Yeah.
At the time, it was 50-something.
Right.
And how do I peg it at? Me, I know, probably it has some crystal ball up south. The lady looking at I don't know. It crossed 100, so she not $30 positive.
A bit.
She looking good.
A little gravy.
A little gravy.
Yeah.
Everybody later, how you peg at 79? She had 100. She crossed 79. She had 100.
And I must, you know, commend her.
Mm-hmm.
The walk, maybe at that time, was a walk of shame. It wasn't easy. It's never easy. But I hear her words, and I hear the words of Keir Starmer, who said the same thing. I am here to govern in Britain's interests.
Simple. You have no choice. You have no choice.
My allies will request, and I will decide when. But I am not here to govern in America's interests.
Exactly.
And even though you're an ally, that must have been a very forthright thing to say. Because it's easy to say, let me join the wagon. It's easy to join the wagon. It's easier to join the wagon. Now, Britain has gotten more involved. Planes going now, they're defending Cyprus. EU involved. You know, sometimes the party start and men come late in the party. All the same.
Yeah.
It are your brethren who will be there up early helping you take out ice and everything and they organize. But there are some brethren who will bring up the rear and party and help you all the same.
Yep.
And the NATO is starting to act because some NATO members have begun. And funny enough, I also learned today in listening to the news and reading that Russia stands to benefit a lot from all this blockade of the strait and oil cannot move. They got a blight the other day to be allowed to purchase their oil. The EU countries who could not touch Russian oil because there was sanctioned oil. Because of the little blockade and things going on now, Russia get a little blight, so Russia will get a little funds for keeping her mouth shut.
Staying out there.
That is exactly what is going on there.
Yeah.
That is exactly what's going on there.
You want oil? Stay out there.
Yeah, you'll get some oil for a while, you'll make some dust. Good. It has been a very cold winter, and you know, warm up yourself.
In your opinion, I know I'm trying to dig why the war started, or the conflict, because they don't want to call it a war in the U.S. because certain permission have to be given for U.S. to be in a war, so they call it conflict. Why this conflict with Iran started? What caused this?
Well, from my readings, and I want to posit and put out there that there are several readings. So it have no Bible on this. And even the Bible have plenty chapter, depending on what chapter you read. There are different versions and there's a historical link, good? There's a biblical link, etc. But we understand, from my understanding, the two main actors here are the US and Israel. Good?
What Iran did to how is Iran bombing some?
No, here's what's going on. The uranium enrichment treaty. Uranium is very important.
Don't come back with no weapon of mass destruction.
No. It's no weapon of mass. It's simple. It's not no highfalutin kind of science, right? I was listening to the Israeli ambassador today. He said, we will not make the mistake that we did with North Korea. North Korea was allowed to enrich uranium for domestic use. They developed it so much, right, that they could put that uranium that they was using for domestic use on a nuclear warhead. That's the jet. They also was able to, very quietly, miniaturize that weapon and increase the range so that they could strike the continent. All of those are unintended actions. So the Israeli ambassador was saying, we will not make the same mistake with Iran. We not wait until the horse bolt.
And that is Israel's job to do that, to police.
Yeah.
That is somebody give them that job.
Well, you wouldn't say police, you know. Remember, they too have a history of throwing darts across the fence.
But if that is how we playing it, like we just close down UN and close down national security.
Well, I don't believe in a lot of those things.
Let me just shut it down and let me just go home and do what we want.
Well, that's what's going on now. That's what's going on now.
Because, you know, the UN has some National Security Council.
Yeah. There's plenty talk.
Everybody is doing what they want.
No, there's plenty talk. Bretton Woods.
Russia in Ukraine.
Everybody
Israel in Iran.
Once you have muscles.
And who here?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, plenty talk. Israel said that. Israel said, listen to me, whether we brethren in the back or we brethren in the front, our history has told us, right?
Yeah.
That when dogs sleeping, thing happening. Good? And we have seen it. And Iran has been open about it. You should not exist. We're neighbors, right? But I really believe we should redraw the map and Salvan shouldn't be on the map. Good? No. It is even on both sides because I hold no cards for anyone. Israel's point was on the media is that we have seen enough. We have enough intelligence to tell us that that domestic uranium enrichment program allows Iran very quietly with the scientists with it buried in the mountains to take we off the map. And
that is what Israel said.
Yeah. So we lash in first.
Yes, and did Israel give evidence of that?
Yes, they did. They did. They showed all the uranium programs. Remember, that is really what caused the UN people to go in there in the first place.
I remember we had Colin Powell in the UN giving evidence of weapon of mass destruction in Iraq.
He didn't know evidence.
He read out real thing by the man talk thing, calculation, all kind of thing the man put. Just now, I could go at Gaddafi, and I could go at a number of leaders that the globe, certain power brokers didn't want based on their intent. And we find that justification, you know. I could give any map, you know. I could draw a map for you, you know, with uranium in Charlottesville. I could draw a map. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If we know where they're enriching this uranium, why blowing up hospital and school? We know whether they have uranium, you say, enriched, and they have it 2 degrees north by 10 degrees south. Well, go and blow it up there. We're blowing up hospital and school and little children and thing for, if you know it is. You understand what I'm getting at now, right?
Yeah, but
I have all the data, I have empirical data.
To be fair, umpire, you talking about a very straight road. If that road was so straight, war would have lasted 2 days. It would not have 12-day war.
So what I'm saying, you see this level of confabulation that taking place down me, I tell me the foolishness, you know.
No,
really and truly,
we can see between
the line. I see.
I don't see it any other way. I take for nobody because at the end of the day, there are innocent lives
being lost
on both sides being lost. But the American president has been open to tell you that is part of the cost.
Yeah.
Now the problem is the people who say that are not the people who coming home with 1 foot. I get to sit down in a room and say, Salvon Jr., go to the front, please.
Yeah.
Take up your you know? And in Israel, places like Israel, where you have compulsory military recruitment after a certain age, good? It's even more difficult in those countries. You don't have volunteer. They ain't asking you, you know.
Yeah. Par for the course, man.
Yeah, they're telling you have to, you know, they militarize the population.
Yeah.
So, a lot of people, getting back to where we were, have been questioning the efficacy and the utility of the Prime Minister's visit and her relationship. Some have asserted that it's a threat to CARICOM. And those type of because listen, nobody hasn't got no invite, you know. You see that?
Let me tell you about CARICOM,
Yeah.
And I support the Prime Minister in what her stand in her alignment. Now, people in the pavilion, the conversation on Iraq and the US and Israel was just juxtaposing some possibilities, we just juxtaposing possibilities. What if, and so forth. Quite not there are no facts and so forth. We're just looking at what if. And then we know the media tend to spin things, that CNN, and them spin things a particular way and so forth. Don't Trump just call them what fake news and who's fake news and fake news and so they spin things. So if you want to take it verse and chapter from where they say the leader on a mongoose trap. So you had to form your own opinion based on some common sense approach and so forth. Let me tell you, CARICOM and I was talking to some elder leaders of CARICOM sometime this year. And I'm saying what a failure CARICOM has been in terms of really CARICOM leaders. And I'm generalizing leaders, not those today, but a lot who have gone and passed on and so forth. In terms of, you have these 14 little Mickey Mouse countries, as the case would be, and have been able to himself integrate really and truly to be relevant on the world stage. They have been able to do that. We have been able to establish trade on one currency self. Barbados, Guyana, we using SWIFT system still. Dinosaur. It is more expensive to go Antigua than to go New York. You understand? We still trying to unravel CSME, where we could work with each other and I could travel across there as professional. We're unraveling it slowly. In terms of goods, we have been able to align based on islands, or I call it islands, strength and weaknesses, how we should prioritize CARICOM approach to the global market. Yes? How we should prioritize manufacturing in terms of redistribution within CARICOM based on strengths and weakness and so forth. Yeah? If we say the energy cost in Trinidad is cheapest, then we should focus manufacturing to this side. We say the white sand, 360 white sand in Antigua. Just saying.
Yeah.
We focus tourism there. I'm just saying how Guyana is fresh water, flat land, 2 season agriculture.
Amazon.
So which mean the creator have designed the Caribbean. It come like the creator give us all the ingredients to make a nice pilau. But you take your okra and you go on one side and you're frying okra and you eat okra. You get some pigtail, you go on and you boil your pigtail and you eat it. And you know, if you put all together really and truly and mix it up, is a wonderful pot we'll have as CARICOM.
Yeah.
But these CARICOM leaders, and you know, I laugh at it sometimes, that some of these islands have 200,000 people and so forth in it. But they have Governor General, the Prime Minister, they are village really. They are village. And yet they have all these things of colonialism stuck on them. Yes? And Governor General. And we had this man only merge with somebody and behave with yourself. Combine with somebody, what, 12 million people in CARICOM? We say, whole of CARICOM is smaller than New York. So this is why you see CARICOM, and we have to be mindful, is CARICOM relevant, and to what extent is CARICOM relevant? What is CARICOM vision for the next 20 years, for the next 50 years, for the next 100 years? Where CARICOM going? And where do I fit in as Trinidad and Tobago in this vision? If I do see a vision as a leader, Trinidad, Grenada, what have you, for this party we're going into, then I question what I'm going to the party for. Where it taking me? Where's the end in mind? You understand what I'm saying? And sometimes you had to pause. We went somewhere, we read somewhere, we had to pause and see if we want to finish that journey, if that is where we want to go, where's the benefit long term for us, if we should redesign or realign CARICOM, if we should create some pillars of development for CARICOM and so forth. As we go forward and just change the game. But right now, as far as I see, anybody could attract you. Come like you have a girl in the house, but you're treating she good. Any man pass with the little car shiny and so forth, with 2 snow cones in the hand could pull the girl out of the house. You understand? And we in CARICOM had to rethink. We had to reimagine what CARICOM should be. 50th meeting at CARICOM, and I don't know what we talk about. I know where we're going, and we go back and we start a fight. 50 meeting. 50 meeting. Trinidad importing $700 million a year in food. Why Guyana planting more to feed the Caribbean? I'm just saying.
So, callers on the pavilion, I want to know this evening, how do you view the Prime Minister's relationship with the U.S. vis-a-vis in relation to CARICOM? Do you see it as a threat? Do you see it as, you know, nothing
value?
As good value, adding good value? Do you see the whole Trini-US relationship as beneficial? Do you see it beneficial but you're cautious? of certain things, as in any relationship. You know, you're like she, but you have to be careful. Things now start, relationship now start. Call me on 342-0081-466-5391 and tell me, what do you think of that relationship in its latest version, in its latest existence? The Prime Minister was invited to the summit. She did appear at the summit. We saw evidence of that. But not everybody was invited to the summit. And some believe that it should have been a general invitation for everyone, or for the body, and a bilateral invitation is a slap in the face. You call me. The number to call is 342-0081-466-5391. The number to call again is 342-0081-466-5391. Or do you say kudos to the leadership? Good effort. We will monitor what may be the derivatives as we go along. Some people might opine that it's too early to call. The lady just went, and therefore we have to be vigilant, and we have to watch and see what might be some of the latent rewards for the country as time goes along. It's really never one day wonder where you just attend and everything happens hunky-dory. That doesn't happen like that.
You have a caller?
Umpire, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, gents. Very good points that you raised there. I'm just making a very short contribution. I think we need to keep in mind that Prime Minister did say we need to know where our help comes from. I think this is just that type of scenario where she's trying to continue to keep her bread buttered. And to me, it is giving that CARICOM doesn't have as much value and weight. So she's choosing sides for the benefit of that. That's the way it appears to me. But anyone who would have looked at Trump's behavior for a while would know that he really doesn't have much friends. And you cannot just rely on a promise. You can't rely, because he's the type of person that will, say something today and do something else tomorrow. But I think it's being safe. I think it's safe for her at this point in time. And she's just looking at the benefits, how it could benefit us in the future. That's just my thoughts. Have a good evening, gents.
Thank you, umpire. Good afternoon, caller. Caller, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, umpire.
Yes,
how's that? A pleasant good evening to each and everyone.
Yes, sir.
Share a live. Tell him that I have an umpire sitting on his square leg, that he ball tampering, and I will try to bowl right arm over to leg and center.
Okay.
But congratulations. I like the direction from fast bowling. He slowed down the pace, and I like how he got the ball to swing. And he get the batsman to chase them behind them, ball at them.
Right.
Good bowling, brother. Umpire on the square leg.
Right.
Yeah. So they are officiated the referee now. Here is what, right?
Yeah.
Congratulations to the esteemed political leader and Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. I will quote something now, right?
Yeah,
go ahead.
And I'll ask you a question. Right. When a mother dog make young one, and the eye ain't open yet, and anybody strange go by them dog, what the mother dog does do?
By them.
And defend them?
Yeah.
Right. Then they come too close.
Yeah.
When the puppy and them eye open and the teeth come out and bite the tete, and she just bite them,
Yeah.
Right? Good. So let me put it in an economic vision now.
Go ahead.
We had a regime which is on the books, $500 billion in expenditure for 10 years. And then you see in all the state enterprises, the kind of money they borrow. Then you're seeing that the energy sector in Petrotrin, farm out to friends and family and well wishers. So the revenue stream, what's supposed to reach the treasury, is not coming in as the way it's supposed to be. Now, what I want to ask is when they were negotiating the Dragon gas, you know, a prime minister of this country never answer question. An energy minister fly like a who? 130 something time. And yet still gets stonewalled by a country which called the United States of America. They can't move forward. The only thing they can move now is backward with that deal. So you see now when the TTA come getting teeth out the bite. So what you do? You run them because the whole Caribbean joined to tell the President of the United States, we sovereign and we independent and we could do what we want. But then again now, when law and order come in, this plant in Venezuela, right? They need to recuperate and build an economy in the name of however they get in. Just as the umpire said, the square leg umpire said, whatever means necessary and how to use. But I stayed on my economy. So when we need jobs, we need the manufacturer to sell in the non-energy sector to ramp up revenue. In Latin America, that is 11 countries in Latin America, we get introduced to for looking forward a trade to do with them. Right? So we products in the non-energy sector, we could stand on market day. The energy talk in America with the energy secretariat, you hear now that they want to come to Trinidad. And on this program, I talked to a guest the other day on the Empire. The refinery is capable at a lower energy consumption to crack the Venezuela oil. Guyana have oil in abundance. So when we get that going, we could crack oil here and we could get a spin-off. And then we start building ourselves. So the possibility is, as the second I will say, the square leg say, Guyana was building food market for the Caribbean. But when it had an energy summit in Trinidad, a prime minister shut down the president Ofran Ali and went with the dragon, all the egg in one basket. So we had to still trade with the Caribbean brothers. But what I want to remind the listeners, Umpire, you remember the shipwright agreement?
Yeah.
Given the Americans to come in the country? Right. So how's that? Have a pleasant evening.
Thank you, caller. Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. How are you all doing?
We're okay.
Excellent.
We're
Welcome.
Nice, man. Beautiful, beautiful discussion. You know, I've heard when coming to the Prime Minister and some of the movements that she have been making, I've heard comments where some people say that she hand in the lion's mouth and she have no choice. And if she don't do that, what will happen? as though the Prime Minister is forced to deal with America, or to deal with Donald Trump, as though she don't have no choice, because this is what a lot of people are saying. Even some professionals are saying that the Prime Minister hand is in the lion's mouth. I don't think so. I think the Prime Minister is doing what she thinks she has to do. She mentioned that the CARICOM right now is not relevant. Right? So she is planting her seed, so to speak, in America to see some form of growth, if not now, not too far in the distant future. My question, though, or what I have a problem with, is if she is going to share what took place in this summit. If she is going to tell Trinidad and Tobago, after the meeting with the Latin American countries and Mr. Trump, this is what we have decided, this is what we are going to do. Now, you don't have to say everything, because I'm sure there are some things that will be confidential. But at least give us an idea of what we can look forward to. And this is something that I've seen not really happening. She is not forthcoming with information. But I think with something as big as that meeting that she just came out to, I think that she owes us by keeping a press conference or something and let us know the meeting was a success. This is what was discussed, and this is what Trinidad and Tobago could look forward to now or not, or in the near distant future. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, caller.
Excellent.
And we'll hold all calls till after the break, because we're going to a break. A mixed bag. You'll get a mixed bag. Some see, some prefer, some prefer. You know, and we want to thank you for all the calls thus far. We know some people didn't get to call you, call in right after the break, because we're going to a break in a couple of seconds. So we want you to stay tuned, but
there are a number of moving parts, and we discuss the moving parts in running a country. It's more diverse than a bakery. And there are certain analyses that have to be put in place. But we come back on the other side.
So join us after the break for more on the Third Empire.
So do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street. 919 FM.
Get ready, this is big. Our first annual Epic Fundraiser Cruise. Sail in the sunset aboard the stunning Embassy yacht at King's Wharf, San Fernando. Easter Sunday, 5th April 2026. Boarding 2:30 p.m. sharp. Sunset vibes, sweet music, pure liming on the water. Tickets only $250. All funds for a great cause. Together we change lives. Quick rule, no glass bottle, no big coolers. Casual dress, come as it comfy. Payments can be made by Monday, 30th of March 2026. Tickets still available. Call or WhatsApp 683-8569 or 716-4206 right now. Limited spots, don't sleep. Sail in the sunset, Easter Sunday, Embassy Yacht. Let's go.
Score with Coca-Cola. Check out the FIFA World Cup 2026 consumer promotion on now under the 591 ml football label bottles at supermarkets nationwide and see press or social media for more details. Score with Coca-Cola.
Southern Games 2026, coming to Skinner Park, San Fernando, Saturday, 21st March. Athletics heats start 9:30 a.m. Sunday, 22nd March. Athletics finals plus cycling from 1:30 p.m. Expect fast sprints, powerful finishes, exciting bike races, and attractive door prizes. Perfect family fun. Cheer on our rising local stars. Tickets, adults, $60. Kids under 14, $20. Under 5, free. Buy now at Atherley's by the Park, Awardee Hardware in Marabella from March 6th onward, or at the gate on the day. More info? Call 368-5649 or 77-83274. Southern Games 2026. With God, all things are possible.
TechFlex TT Limited, the #1 computer store in Trinidad and Tobago, has all your tech needs. We have the latest computers, powerful MacBooks, and affordable Chromebooks for school and work, providing new and refurbished options to suit everyone's budget. Also, we carry a variety of printer options and ink solutions for your home and office needs. Need repairs done? Our experienced technicians can solve your tech problems. Visit us now at any of our 2 locations, Wilson Road, Scarborough, next to Royal Castle, or Penco Street, Montrose, Chagonas. Call 235-4919 for more info. TechFlex TT Limited. Affordable tech. Exceptional service.
Jump into savings at Furniture Plus. Enjoy up to 40% off in-store and online. Find amazing deals on furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more. Plus extra discounts on credit plans and free gifts with select purchases. Save more at Furniture Plus today.
Man, I went by the ATM to get some cash and the machine saying insufficient funds. I sure I have money in my account.
Boy, that happened to me already. Here what to do. Make a report to your bank. But if you're still not satisfied with how they're dealing with it, contact the Office of the Financial Services Ombudsman. Let me text you the number.
If you want to resolve a complaint with your bank, non-bank financial institution, or insurance company, contact the Office of the Financial Services Ombudsman at 800-4FSO or visit www.ofso.org.tt. We can help, and our services are free.
Blessings in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You are invited to listen to the Final Hour broadcast heard every Monday
from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning on the Street 919 FM.
Hear my mom, Pastor Helen Garcia, and myself, Pastor Valentine Garcia Jr., preach the Word of God to the elderly, youth, and children. We can be contacted at 629-0113 or 623-8444. The church is located at 26 Prince Street in Port of Spain. We look forward to you joining us. God bless you.
As my life I lay it on the altar, as my life.
Not everything has to change. At KFC, we don't change the flavor, we add more. Now, get our delicious Lent value meals so you can keep on crunching. Get a fish sandwich for $45 or fish fillet with 1 regular side, also $45. We give you more of the taste you love for Lent. So keep on crunching with KFC. Finger licking good. It's a whole lot of flavor wrapped up in a twist. Some of them try to rap, but they don't rap like this. With crispy KFC tenders and lettuce and carrots and shredded tortilla embedded, perfect wherever you headed. Dripping with that creamy mayo and that mambo sauce. Let me tell them one more time to get my point across. It's a craveable, crunchable, movable, functional, flavorful meal that your taste buds must endorse. KFC, crunch twist, crunch twist. None of them, they don't make them like this.
Introducing KFC's Crunch Twist, a flavorful wrap with a delicious difference for just $29.95. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Go to FIFA World Cup 2026 with Coca-Cola. Just buy any Coca-Cola 591 ml with football labels. Uncap and submit your code via WhatsApp to 328-2878 for your chance to score with Coca-Cola.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
The father of a teenage boy accused of killing 4 people in a shooting rampage at a high school in the U.S. state of Georgia has been found guilty of murder, child cruelty, and other charges. Colin Gray, 55, pleaded not guilty to all 29 charges. Colin Gray pleaded not guilty to all 29 charges against him stemming from the 2024 attack that left 2 of the teachers and 2 students dead in Winder, Georgia. His prosecution marks the 3rd time that a U.S. parent has been held criminally responsible for a mass shooting carried out by their child. According to the CBS News, the BBC's partner, Prosecutors argue that Gray was the one person who could have prevented the shooting by his 14-year-old son, because he knew he was a bomb just waiting to go off. The attack at the Appalachian High School outside the city of Atlanta claimed the lives of Cristiano Angulo, 14, Mason Shimon, 14, Richard Aspinwall, and Christina Ermi, 53. His son, Colt Gray, is currently awaiting trial for the shooting. During the trial, the jury heard how Colin Gray had bought his son an AR-style rifle for his Christmas the year before the attack. Even though the boy had been questioned by police just 7 months earlier about online threats to commit at a school. Prosecutors argued that he ignored numerous warning signs, including a notebook detailing how his son planned to kill students and teachers. After seeing sign after sign of his son's deteriorating mental state, his violence, his school shooter obsession, the defendant had sufficient warning that his son was a bomb just waiting to go off, according to Barrow, the county assistant DA. And instead of disarming him, he gave him the detonator. His lawyers attempted to shift the blame to his son. This is a person who went into school and shot and killed 4 people. He didn't even know and injured scores of others, his lawyer argued. Jim Barry told jurors, referring to the boy. That was the boy lawyers. This is a person who needs to be punished. He made a conscious decision to do this. A secretive decision. The jury deliberated for only about 2 hours after a 2-week trial. During the trial, Colin Gray took the stand to testify that he did not know his son would commit an attack. Prosecutors outlined how the shooting allegedly occurred, describing how the boy carried a rifle on the school bus and how one of the young victims saved the lives of the other pupils. He attempted to push the shooter out of the classroom when he was shot. This was Christian's last act on earth, was to shut the door of the classroom to protect his friends. According to the media, Colin Gray did not visibly react on hearing the verdict. He now faces at least 30 years in prison. His sentencing has not been scheduled. And I read that for you as a pretext to this. According to the Prime Minister, the proposed measure is aimed at addressing growing concerns about indiscipline and school violence, adding that parents must play a more active role in guiding their children's behavior. And I quote from the Prime Minister, "I maintain that parents must be held legally and financially accountable for their children's behavior. This is a part of a broader policy of this government to address rising concerns about school violence, gang violence, and the lack of effective deterrence. Parents must be more engaged in their children's behavior, especially when schools alone cannot manage escalating violence. The threat of legal consequences may push parents to intervene earlier in cases of bullying. Under this bill, parents could face fines or penalties if their child is repeatedly involved in bullying or violent acts." The Prime Minister's latest comments come after the Minister of Education, Michael Dowlatt, recently revealed that incidents occurring during class time with a staff member present rose from 401 to 544.
After the police in the school?
The police in the school, the police in the class. The police in a room in the school. In a room.
Where's the objective of putting the police in the school?
When there's a break time or lunch time, they will come out and deal with the interaction. That is why the quote here is incidences with a teacher present. This happening in the class.
So this is trying to outsmart them then?
Well, we shift the goalposts.
Catching we outside, we go fight in the class.
That started, I done.
In the class.
Who went outside to get dragged up? Most of the times when you see those pictures on Facebook.
Let me comment on this. We dealing with this from too much of a legalistic standpoint in the first instance, where I sit, because the problem is bigger than making laws. It is way bigger than make a law and lock up, and we're not looking at systemic cause. Then we keep making laws and laws and laws, and I go back to 2-3 administration, you know, AG's been boasting about laws we pass, about laws we pass. But society have been degrading, yes, in terms of how we coexist to a large extent. Murders, crime, robbery that are taking place, road rage, all kind of thing like that. So it is deeper than laws. I spoke last year when I mentioned that we have ministries or agencies that exist, people paid for, to address. You know, Robinson had said streams flow into rivers and rivers flow into ocean and so forth. We're trying to make laws for the ocean and not trying to address the stream. You understand? When I spoke about a simple thing, in Montrose had a set of little children, bring it closer, a set of little children during the day harassing people, give me a dollar with some adults there and so forth. And I say, but we don't have no community police, we do have, they're with adults and they're doing this thing in public. No community police, no councillor, no MP, no social service, no. The children on the street doing this in the day, they're supposed to be in school, begging, and so forth. And these things creep into something else later on, you know. And then we just try to fix it quite down the road, you know. That is one aspect of it. Two aspects I'll let you come in just in a minute. We have to ask ourselves, violence in school, there's nothing called school violence. Violence in school didn't happen last week. It didn't start happening last week, you know. It's just that social media bring it to the fore. Oh, good. It's happening a long time ago. And then we say we want to blame the parents and so forth. Of course, parents have a role to play. But I'm saying it just can't be so simplistic as blame the parents, not looking at the environment, yeah, that one in which this whole ecosystem emerges from. The parent may have circumstances, I mean, a job somewhere that they have to be out, the father gone, or the mother gone and the father alone, and he had to work at 12 hours, and society bringing up the child. There's so many factors that we have to look at to fix the problem. Just making laws to fix the problem, we have to really do that whole pestle analysis and that smart analysis. Yes? To start addressing the problem. Let's say we will make law and charge the parents. We feel just so the parents will get good because of a law that will be charged. So we have to dig deeper and so forth.
Well, I am. Good evening.
Hey. Good afternoon, Senior Matheson.
My position on this, while I agree with you, we have to look at the bigger picture of, we have to look at the overall picture of what's causing everything and what's the issue with, what's causing it. And what we could do socially and otherwise.
They say bring your mic closer, Senior.
Yeah. And what we could do.
Beautiful.
Socially and otherwise to solve some of the problems. I would agree with anyone who says that we need to start to. So I agree with the Prime Minister. If the intention is to create legislation that will make parents more responsible. Because you see that again, we go back to this accountability thing. And if parents know, because I listen, you in the school, you've been in the school system, but I know there are parents who see school for the children not as school, but as a daycare. And they don't really care what happens in school. They drop off the children in school or they send the children to school and they get the children away from home for the day. So there is no real emphasis to creating that kind of social, that kind of society in the school with children, understanding that they have to play by certain morals and certain rules and that kind of thing. So those children become very disruptive in the school system, and they create other problems for other people, children who want to operate in a society that says that we have rules and laws and that kind of thing to function. And I think it's about time we start holding adults responsible for the action of their children. Right? That could be one of the chain, one of the link that would make up the whole chain to society. That's how I see it. And I understand your position, Selvan, but that's how I see it.
Well, I as I've said time and time again here, two things can be true. I do not believe you should jam free. Mr. Mitchell, you can't jam, make a picnic, and have the society to figure out what's wrong. That is not the society's responsibility totally. Don't let your son stab the next boy and then we hear he depressed. You see that word depressed? We're looking for somebody else to supervise him. We're looking for somebody else to give him food. We hear his father wasn't there. Selvon had to work 2 jobs and whatever. At the end of the day, I think laws are there to hold people accountable. I do agree that it cannot be standalone because there are cases where, so for instance, I remember once dealing with a first former. A first former. You remember first form? That is when you now stop wearing jockey shorts and your pants get a little longer. You was just wearing short pants. Terrorizing a school. First former. He's a terrorist. You know what the mother said? I can't deal with him, you know. All you deal with him. She says, sir, I give up. So I looked at her like I was afraid. I feared for my life. What do you mean you give up? That's what we're teaching young people, to make children and give up. What your father would do, Mr. Mitchell? What your mother would do? We teaching people, that's the responsibility, we teaching young people to make children have fun and give up and talk about that the government like Eric children. Like Eric children. And Eric didn't put systems in place, and Selvon was the Minister of Education, never fulfill his promise. Is everybody else's responsibility. But you know that night in Double Palm, none of we was there. You know when you was having your fun. You after the party, after the boat ride, you see IWER advertising the boat ride. After the boat ride.
We blame IWER.
Yeah, we go blame the boat ride. So I posit that it has to start somewhere. Should it end there? I agree, no it can't. Because you have circumstances where some parents, to be honest, some parents honestly cry out for help. They cry out. They come out and say, sir, water more than flour. I ain't front to tell you. Because when I go on to pick up the security walk for 6 o'clock, it has nobody to wake him up. So you realize he has no structure. Yeah. He now getting up 8 o'clock to go to school for 8 o'clock. Granny live in Charlottesville. Uncle in business because uncle say he too rude. And I need money to buy his sneakers. So I cannot stay home and watch him to go to school. As a matter of fact, it's only when they call me in school I realize 3 days out of the 5 days of the week he didn't go to Mr. Selvon, because by the time I come home from shift, school would have finished. You went to school today? Yeah, ma. No. I am saying still, some parents must be a little more diligent. Because the kind of crazy things parents repeat that children tell, your father would say, you would not have a nose bridge. And I'm advocating that type of parenting. But if you understand, we have reached a position where the tail wagging the dog. The tail wagging the dog. Now, there are genuine children with problems, They're genuine children with learning disabilities. They're genuine children who, for want of a better word, acting out. I remember a parent telling me one time, and I'm going to change this. I'm going to go into a little segue, and the parent says, "Sir, he don't listen to me, you know. He's not a man in that house, he just listen to the boss." You see, when the boss in the community tell he to go so, he just go so. And you see, if I ever talk to him, the boss coming by my door. There are some communities under siege. There are some communities under siege where, so in that case,
so you understand what I'm saying?
Of course,
right?
it is very layered. It is very, very, very layered.
You have to dig deep. You have to go below this. Yeah, you make a law and be the child you charge him parents.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, he work in CPEP, so really he can't pay no charge.
Yeah,
really and true.
yeah.
So what you gonna do? You gonna jail him? Okay, so he works CPEP. He might be challenged in some way, you know.
Yeah.
Because we thinking, well, the parents is of sound and noble mind and character. Demonstrating too. His child go to school and folly, we go charge him. Then you walk in CPEP, eh?
Yeah.
Then you now get home there.
Yeah.
Well, he can't pay the charge.
Can't pay the charge.
We're going to lock you up.
Naya says I'm weed.
No. We're going to lock you up. We have maybe child now. When you lock you up, because single parent now, eh?
Correct.
You lock you up.
So it's more complex, correct.
What the child going to do?
More unsupervised.
You can't someone say it. Just say that I charge you. But we had to look at the whole circumstance of it.
I was asking my brother.
I not say the parents must not be held accountable, you know, but there can't be a break. Well, the child we have to.
Some things are easier. So I was asking my brother the other day, how come the children don't really generally mash up the tablet? Because in Miami, they issue them the tablet for school and they had to graduate with it. He said, because it comes out your taxes.
Yeah.
You can't destroy it. It's traceable.
Yeah.
You don't just get the next one.
Government property.
That's government property.
Yeah.
And we're not asking if or but. The parents and the child know what will happen if you trade down. Simple.
Yeah.
It's simple. It's no books racket, by the way. It's no textbook racket.
The challenge here, all the ethos there is accountability.
It's accountability.
Exactly.
Right?
So
you know,
and if you can learn that accountability from small,
the children know it
from your parents.
Yeah.
Then you'll be more accountable when you get
providing the tablet is not the issue. We moved on in society for that. Getting tablets is nothing. It's
accountability.
It's how we account for it and how we teach you and your parents, because it's not just you, take care of it. Because if they leave you with it to play game, good. If they leave you with to download them little For You page and them little OnlyFans, good. So at the end of the day, however, supervision of children starts with the parents, and that's where it starts.
We have to ask yourself, could the parents supervise themselves?
That is true. And then there's a labor issue, because I remember too. I remember going to a PTA meeting in Holy Name. 10 o'clock in the day. It had 1,000 parents.
I say the same
no,
thing.
but
you
said that, but I want to answer that.
Just
stop.
Any day.
Listen, stop.
You see me and my little 10 days?
I answered that. I answer when you said that. I said, I hear you, you know. The parents who child go to, what you call this school?
Holy Name.
Holy Name Convent. Are doctors, lawyers, magistrate. They could walk off the work.
That's what
they
we're
could
saying.
come anytime.
Correct.
Or when they think that the CEO of the company and so forth.
That's not a good excuse. You know
No, wait. I go down the road, you know. The fella who walk in Europe, CPEP or KFC or the security guard.
He can't move.
He can't get time off to go in the child's school.
I hold to that.
But here, while that might be so,
yes,
I could tell you from my experience.
Right.
Because that the same experience, both ways around the same time.
Right.
So my son who went to St. Mary's College, he went to school in the time of Father Salvari's son.
Yes.
I remember, because I remember seeing Father Salvari in school on lunchtime.
Who was driving by the airport?
I can't remember who he was driving. But the thing is,
he didn't travel. I would have had to travel.
There were other parents who, just like the parents who would have children in Tranquility and Mokorapo and St. James,
Yeah.
who were there also. And you know what? They wanted to be there because they didn't want to look irresponsible. They don't care about that when the child go into Mokorapo and St. James and Tranquility and that kind of thing. You will have a school like Tranquility with children, with more parents or more children in it than a St. Mary's.
Yeah.
But when you have a parent day meeting, they call it parent day meeting in St. Mary's, you would want to know if every child has 3 parents.
The amount of people.
The amount of people.
Because the butler come in and
you see the same, what you call the same proletariat who happen to have children there too.
That is also
it's a psychological thing too.
But that's also true, Sim. But to be honest, who are the parents who can afford to do that? In the main, some parents will step up.
They will send somebody to represent the child.
Some parents will step up, and I agree with it. But when eventually,
you don't want to go to a meeting.
There are category of workers who do not have that flexibility.
That luxury.
They can't even do it. They can't even listen. When we call them, they tell you the supervisor say no. You
got to be mindful that exists in society.
Yeah.
So we can't. What I'm saying, guys, we can't just take a broad brush and say only irresponsible. Circumstances sometimes I can't really come because I had the light bill to pay and I can't stay home. I had the rent to pay.
If we go in,
we have just now in this country about 45,000 workers in the security industry, private security industry, working basically minimum wage.
Right.
There is about 4,000 a month as the case will be.
Right.
If you go into the KFC and that whole group of the CPEP and all of them, is a large cadre of adults who in that minimum wage circle that have children going to school, you know.
Yeah.
And we had to be mindful of what they can offer their children and to what extent they have to go to really offer substantial support for the children is real.
Yeah, but
it's real. No, it exists. And we can't.
We can't make excuses.
We are making excuses. No. Because these things are the things that come and nip us in the bud.
There are ways to deal with them things in the law.
Correct.
Right? So you could have caveats to deal with situations like that. Right? And that is, so a parent would know. Let's say, let's take the example of the PT meetings and that kind of thing. Our parents would know that, listen, if I can't go, the school must know that.
Yeah.
I must try and make an attempt to get somebody else, a grandmother, aunt, a sister, brother, or somebody who's not working at the time to go, or something like that. But don't just show up.
Yeah.
Or don't just say something.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you're still responsible.
You're still responsible. And that's why I will agree with the Prime Minister.
Yeah.
If that is the way they want to go with legislative reform to help curb because you see, crime doesn't begin where it ends.
Correct.
Crime begins in those kind of places.
And I see the proposition here is to financially accountable. And I could tell you there's a big issue with destruction to school property. That's a big issue. It's not just two of them fighting, rolling in the grass, you know. It's the chair. Is the glass, is the louvers, is the bench, is the, well, you know when they're mad, they're bad. We're going to mash up everything, we're going to mash it up. And sometimes you just see them. I mean, we went to school too. You bend back the chair back. Tell it back.
What school you went?
You good? You're not in my school, Esther. Not in that college. I went to that college. Alright? But destruction to school property
what I'm saying,
is a serious thing.
Just now, we here have to always look at big picture thinking.
Right.
Yes, we know something has to be done in terms of holding adults accountable for children's behavior who is under their care. That's a fact.
Yes.
That's a fact. But what I'm saying is that I am one who always look at cause, solution. Would that solve the problem?
No.
Would that address the mischief, charging the man $1,000?
Yes,
it will not address the mischief.
In my opinion, it will, because you see, it's that domino effect.
No.
Everything. I'm telling you,
You raise the price of alcohol and man still driving drunk on the road.
Yeah, that you want to have like money to pay when they get home. Listen, let me tell you something.
What's that?
If I know, me personally, if I know I'm going to be held responsible for my child, I know my child have a propensity to do certain things, I will operate very different. I'll be in school.
That's the psychology of that is in truth. In this case with Colin Gracie, the story will tell you that
no, this parents was what? No, he participated in the child doing this thing. I mean, you give the child the detonator matters.
He gave the boy an AR. This boy threatening, he gave an AR. No, but some parents do the same thing here, symbolically.
No,
they ain't go get a child a gun. But when you have to come, sometimes when you come to school and have to take away weapons.
You have to defend yourself.
You have to defend yourself.
I telling your parents to do that?
Yeah. Listen, my father told me, listen. My father told me that his father tell him in a fight it have two people at the end. One does go to the hangman, and the other one does go to the cemetery. You be the man going to the hangman. You understand what you tell that child?
What's that?
That's what my father said. Father tell him.
You know, we have a school feeding program in school.
Yeah.
You know, school feeding came about and so forth. And what was the mischief they was trying to solve?
Go ahead. Tell us.
And same thing.
Yes.
Instead of children not coming to school, parents not sending the children to school, children not concentrating, and a number of things were happening in the school. And we said, look. And when they dig deep, they realize how the children coming to school hungry.
Yes.
Or the parents not in a position to give them food.
Yeah.
So we dig deep, and me I say it solved all the problem, but there was some level of analysis.
Relief.
In terms of what's going on with these children, or the parents. Let's go in communities and see what's happening in some of these communities really and truly.
Yes.
That children, okay, when you're fighting in schools, why certain schools just have fight and certain schools do have no fight?
Which of these certain schools do I fight? I mean, if you know going on.
No,
I don't. What schools do I fight to?
Listen, me and our school have fight,
eh?
All them having fight.
But the thing is, we cannot escape. And I think the conundrum will be where to start. And it must start home. Your proposition says, and I agree, it can't end there.
Yeah.
But let me start.
No,
and it must start.
But it must maybe take a law and let me see.
Because your birth paper in blank, eh? Your birth paper in blank. We know who to look for. In the Chinese society, in China, there's nothing about alimony, you know. You make a child, let's take it out. We know where to find you. You're not the court, you know. A lady, a woman doesn't have to argue that in the Chinese society, you know. You will become a cost to society. You have to get psychologists, psychiatrists, dentists, all kind of thing. We got to. Who paying for that? Let me see who make you. Selvon and Marcia. It's simple.
Well, I don't think this society know how many children are supposed to be in school at this point in time.
But you say we see them on the streets.
Well, this is it. Because we don't.
So we just buying the catch and we go in?
Because it's illegal not to send your child to school, you know. They're breaking the law. You have to send your child to school. But a lot of them on the street all over the place, but nobody again charged for the basic thing. Nobody again charged for that. I said that children home all about the place not being accounted for in a school.
So remember,
and nobody are charging them.
Remember we talk on this program all the time about how we solve the problem. And we don't necessarily, we're talking about a multiplicity of things.
Correct.
That makes up the problems in society.
Yeah.
But we have to start from somewhere.
Yes.
And it was always the strategy. We always talk about that, the strategy. We always talk about the strategic plan and where you want to go, what's the mischief, where you want to solve, and how you intend to do that. Once you have a plan, like all big countries like Singapore and China and Norway and these people, once you have a plan, you could, and not a 5-year plan, not a plan for only while you're in office, a plan for the country, a national plan, a national developmental plan.
Yeah.
Once you have a plan, brother, doesn't matter who you legislated, it doesn't matter who in office.
Yeah.
Any plan we following.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it means that you need bipartisan support.
Correct.
Right? Once you have that kind of plan and you put that in office, it doesn't matter if Steve Matheson be the Prime Minister next 10 years, that's where we have to go.
Callers who call in, we'll take the calls after the break. We're going on a break in about 2 minutes, so I wouldn't pause and then. So after the break, we will take all the calls. We'll go to you, the pavilion.
And to answer all the questions, the solution to all the questions that we raise in here, as it relates to different pockets of issues in society, all of them comes back down to one thing, and all of them linked to something. Is a dynamic thing. If we have a plan, we will know how much teachers we need in the schools, we will know how much engineers we need in the next 10 years, we will know how much whatever, we will know what kind of problems on our trajectory, what happened last year, we will know, we have the data, we have everything to work with, and we will know what we need to solve, we know how to solve them.
We could nip it before it happens.
But again, the problem is belling the cat. Comes back down to that. Who will bell the cat? Because the person or the team of people that seeks to bell the cat, and that is the cat you need to bell. Once they do that, they could suffer loss in support in certain areas because it will interfere with certain
it will have political consequences.
It will certain other economies.
Correct.
Right?
That is true.
And that will affect certain things. So it all depends. And that's why politicians doesn't want to do it. Because that will bell any cat. Who want to bell this cat, boy?
Yeah.
You follow?
Who going down, who taking that? Must.
The cat needs to be belled.
Must.
Right? And if we don't do that, we will have problems all the time.
Because when a parent tells you, the teacher, you just have a period, you have to teach in your class, Tell one son in your class too, that I give up, I don't know what to do. What are you to do? You can't stop the class and play psychologist. You understand we have mass education in very large systems and plenty trying to clamp up in a class. That's why some children will naturally be left behind because some recede. Not all act out. And some of them we realize when they're acting out is attention they're looking for. It's that same attention they're looking for.
Okay.
But the school system is limited in time and in infrastructure to deal with that in-house. Really and truly, you have to get all the lessons, to have exams, CXC, all kind of thing to go for. I can't really sit down with you and listen to what went on home by you. With your cousin or your uncle or your mother or your father. Because they have stories too. We'll come back after the break. Join us on the Third Empire for more. We're discussing parents' responsibility vis-a-vis children actions.
Is being brought to you by Royal Castle. Our culture. Our taste.
Lent is here, and the castle is making fasting easy and tasty. Come enjoy any of our 5 delicious fish options. All made with a fresh catch, seasoned local style, and cooked to golden perfection. Try the fish meal. 2 slices of fish with a side. The fish combo. 2 slices of fish, 1 side, and a drink. Maybe the fish sandwich combo of 1 sandwich, a side, and a drink. Want more fish? Well, the Royal Fish Meal is for you. Enjoy a slice of fish, a fish sandwich with a side and a drink. Or maybe you just want our famous fish sandwich. The delicious Lenten specials are hot and waiting for you at your nearest Royal Castle.
Here's another meal tip from Royal Castle. Going to the beach? Heading to the river? Or perhaps having a get-together at home? Take the hassle out of the line, pop into a Royal Castle, and pick up the mega meal. Get 12 tasty pieces of chicken with flavor to the bone, together with 6 regular sides. Mix them up with your choice of fries, coleslaw, potato, or fresh salad, plus and 2-liter soft drink. Let us handle the cooking while you focus on a good time with your crew. So pick up a mega meal or 2 from Royal Castle. It's our culture, our taste.
Lent is here, and the castle is making fasting easy and tasty. Come enjoy any of our 5 delicious fish options. All made with a fresh catch, seasoned local style, and cooked to golden perfection. Try the fish meal. 2 slices of fish with a side. The fish combo. 2 slices of fish, 1 side, and a drink. Maybe the fish sandwich combo of 1 sandwich, a side, and a drink. Want more fish? Well, the Royal Fish Meal is for you. Enjoy a slice of fish, a fish sandwich with a side and a drink. Or maybe you just want our famous fish sandwich. The delicious Lenten specials are hot and waiting for you at your nearest Royal Castle.
That tip was brought to you by Royal Castle. Our culture, our taste.
And we're back. So we're back discussing parents' accountability or parental accountability via legislation. We do have a call. Let's take this first comment. Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon, gentlemen, and good afternoon to you listeners.
Good afternoon.
You know, all you cover almost everything on that, and I am in agreement with parents having to face some kind of penalty if your children going off the rails. However, it will only address some of the issues, and as Mr. Matheson said, will encourage some parents to take or show more interest in the upbringing of the children. But as Mr. Selvon said, you have to consider some of the children who probably would be being raised by grandparents or one parent or both parents pass away. Is all different kind of scenarios, which is why I always suggest that they put the men and women from the defense force in the schools, because it's discipline is the challenge. And if some children insist that they must create problems, you take them and house them somewhere, if it's for 60 days or 3 months a term or whatever, and let the defense force treat with them. They get their schooling, they get the discipline, whether it's a toad water or whatever. But
Caller, I don't feel that might be draconian, because
draconian.
Yeah.
Toad water.
What I would have said earlier on is that, you know, one thing affects the other, right? It's a dynamic thing. And check the reason why children, sometimes you have to go back to that, you have to do studies, do the time and motion, whatever. But check to see why people behave the way they do. The caller having some problems with his internet, so maybe you can call us back. But you can check to see why people having problems, why children may have problems, and integrate that kind of study into knowing every single, and we come back to the same thing we talk about, knowing everybody, knowing where they are, who about to fall through the cracks, how we can help them, how our social system, safety network could help them. So when we bring everybody at the same, at a level playing field, everybody operating in some way level, then those kind of initiatives to make parents more responsible work better.
Nobody caller is right. What I don't see. No, people will categorize different forms of intervention. But the question, that to me, that's not the question. The question is that, is it needed? Have we reached a stage where we need draconian measures? We have said that with ZOSO. We have said that with different forms of criminal intervention. Why is that not a question in school? The only way for you to appreciate freedom is to take it away from you. That ain't no rocket science. You don't have to take it away from you for life. Good? People who tote water appreciate water, you know. You know that? If you ever tote water in your life. Don't waste our water, patow! Good? But if you grew up in a swimming pool, you will leave the water on. You ever hear parents talk about when they didn't have shoes? You ever get that lecture? Where we didn't have shoes and we had petrol lamp. You take off the light, cell phone. That's what they're telling you, you know. But you grew up light for all.
Caller, we not hearing him properly. Yeah?
Go ahead, caller, go ahead. I was interrupting him.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is, you know, we might look at it as a draconian measure, but we have to weigh the outcome. Do we prefer having to let body bags go and pick up these same unruly children because the police had to treat with them, because we didn't treat with it? I mean, the atmosphere of the school has to be maintained to induce learning. And if there are persons who don't want to function within that, then by all means, laws are supposed to be drafted up so that they can be removed and placed somewhere to receive discipline if the parent are unable to provide it. And the thing about this case with Mr. Gray, it's obvious that he should face the penalty that is coming his way, because in the midst of all these signs, how could you go and buy a AR-15 for your son, a 14-year-old?
Love the boy.
In the midst of all these signs, you find the book, all kind of different things. Come on.
And I use that example, caller, because I said here just a while ago, we don't have parents that will buy guns. We may not have that gun culture. But some of the delinquent things we face in schools is parents facilitated to the children, you know.
Correct, because when you have parents coming to fight teachers but not have a discussion, I mean, what type of attitude you want the child to have when he or she is in the school?
So that's why I was telling Mr. Selvon, we argue poverty, but there are children in school with $1,000 sneaker and no books. That's not a child problem, sir. No pen, no pencil. So I'm going to borrow, and whole day they'll walk around the compound. I won't borrow a pen. But if you see the watch and the bag, you see the bags that going now? You know how expensive those bags are? The child has everything else. That's a parental problem. That's not a child problem. And how do you solve that? How do you solve that? Because a child coming to school unprepared, what you all do in school all day? That's all you could do?
Right, I just want to say one more thing that I believe will be a solution here for us in Trinidad and Tobago is midterm elections. Maybe some MPs might truly come and represent their constituents if at 2.5 years, you have to go back and face them. I feel that might work here for us, but Simoya was so right in terms of the relationship that you were speaking about in the first hour, because our Prime Minister continued to make her moves based on promises. And promises have always been a comfort to a fool. And the thing about it, the person who you're giving these promises to you is somebody who doesn't say wait till tomorrow. In the next 5 minutes, he could change his mind. Because you talk about the uranium in Iran being the issue when Donald Trump himself said they obliterated their nuclear capabilities, and it will be X amount of years before they could, and then all of a sudden war again. But it's all kind of different talk. It's regime change, is all kind of thing. The people and them this, did that, but we wait to see how it will play out, if promise will be of any value. Because just how we get the OFAC and lost it, and we have it again, we could lose it. So Simoya was right in terms of it's just promises. Our Prime Minister is making actions off of right now. I look on. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. So it is. Go ahead, Mr. Self.
Mr. Rolox, you sound like you part, or you have a relationship with the teaching fraternity in some extent.
Well, I did have for a number of years, and it was.
You sound very familiar.
It
with
was disheartening
happens.
to see. You ever watch the comedy Meet the Parents?
No.
With Robert De Niro.
No.
You must watch the comedy Meet the Parents. And sometimes, you know, they always say goat don't make sheep.
Mm-hmm.
So the problems we're experiencing in society today with the younger generation didn't start where it is.
Yeah.
When you peel it back, you have people out there having fun and say it's Selvon's fault. And their child coming to school to make sure that Selvon child don't learn, disrupting the class, mashing it up. And then he gets to say he was depressed.
Let me tell you what we do as a society, to a large extent.
Yeah.
Yes, we make laws and hold parents accountable in the first instance.
Yeah.
Yeah? Because you want to connect the parents with the behavior of the child in the school.
Yeah.
It's always your child, is not... the child doesn't absent itself as your child when it leave the house.
This is Eric's child.
Yeah, it is Eric
The
own.
government.
When it reach and leave the house is Eric own.
The
And
government.
inside his mind and so forth. We understand that, but again, it's deeper than that. And
yeah.
I want to give an overarching view of how we as a people
Yes.
look at society in this juxtaposed knee-jerk reaction.
Yes.
I always ask the question. You know, I listen. There's a program on television, one of the television station with a police on it, and talking about crime and so forth. And there are so much obvious crimes that are taking place, and it's only until it reach home, and I'm saying that only until some car lick up 3 men on the highway who in the middle of the highway selling nuts, then we're going to want to address it, you know. You understand what I'm saying? When 3 men who in the middle of the highway selling nuts and parasad in the middle of the highway and planting and so forth, is only when the fire truck car come to out the fire, all the mechanic and them fellas who are the old derelict vehicle park up on the road, and half the road is the garage. And the house burned down with 20 children in it. Then we go say, oh Lord. And the fire truck say, hey, it had water, you know, but we couldn't reach because all them cars park up on the narrow road.
Correct.
Then we got address. What I'm saying is that these things are there now.
Yeah.
Why are we always waiting for something to happen for us to react? Is it legal? I don't know. I train it out. Probably there are wise people in the pavilion that could jump in who have legal luminaries. You know, long time when you start the highway, I remember all the time when you start the highway by Sandotech, they used to say no bicycle, no pedestrian and all, on the highway and so forth. Is it legal for people to be in the middle of the highway selling nuts?
We take any calls in between.
Yeah. Is it legal? Is it legal for...
Good afternoon, caller. Just hold. Go ahead, Mr. Salvan.
Is it legal for all these derelict vehicles and garages to be on the road, taking up a lane of the road? Is it? And I'm showing you where, if you want to fix it, let me start to fix it, and there are institutions to fix it.
Let me fix the small thing.
But we just chuck in and we just playing popcorn thing. Let me chuck at that one now, lead that one. Let me chuck at this one. Either we, all our institutions are operating optimally, really and truly, so that these problems won't be making a law every 2 days. We make a new law because something happened.
Yeah. Caller, go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
Umpire Nevers, Umpire Selvon, and Umpire Rolex.
Welcome.
Yeah, well, I don't know if, thanks. I don't know if you're listening too much, but I find you, Rolex, sounding like Stuart Young in voice, My voice, Selvon sounding like a pastor, name would be on a Sunday evening. Well, I can't place nobody similar to Umpire Matteson. But anyhow, it goes back to parenting. We could do what we want. This indiscipline, well, parenting is a key component into the situation. And that 1973 shock oil boom, the standard of living in Trinidad went up so rapid that parents used to give some children $100 to go to school, to buy snacks and whatever it is. It was so good in those days, right? We had also the maxi taxi coming into effect, and the disorderly behavior in maxis. It is boom, 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 boom from Cleaver Road. You're hearing a maxi, and I remember Ideal, but hearing a maxi coming up from Cleaver Road in a, right? So, and then you see, the junior secondary system also played a part where they should have free time. When the shift home, morning shift, you'll see all in QF, all in 5 of us, hundreds of children, literally no way. Classes over for them. So thank God Mr. Pandey came and he made the schools a full day, full day schools. So it's a lot of different tenets that causing this problem. We also have religion. Every child growing up, once you're Catholic, Anglican, you have to make your first communion and your confirmation. And of course, the Saturdays, the Adventist will go to church. Church people literally grew up in church, whether it's Baptist, whoever, Moravian, whoever. Children grew up in church. But the 70s, that oil boom caused a lot of deviant behavior in Trinidad and Tobago. And that is the price we're paying for this thing, right? And it was left unnoticed. I went to a school, Mr. Martin, know my school, and when you came late, I went to school under a priest as principal and a priest as vice principal, and another priest teaching too, as teachers. And you had to bring an excuse when you came late. You have to make a part in your the side of your on your head there. I wear part until I was 50 years, until I say, man, it's time for me to stop that. Yeah, because of discipline, right? So children grow up highly disciplined.
So how old are you now, Mr. I'm thinking about 90? 40 years ago, you're somewhere in that.
How many what?
How old are you now? About 90?
No. I only 69. I told you that I say, yeah, myself, well, I'm not calling myself out. Understand? Yeah. I was 69 years. The Friday after Carnival. Wow. Yeah. But so that's not too long ago. But I just stated the kind of discipline people like me grew up in.
Yes.
Right. Teachers. When I was in the same year President Kennedy was assassinated, I was in elementary in what they call junior ABC. We used to call it ABC school in those days, but you know you now community school. And we had to, you know, you had to be disciplined from those days. Teachers, another thing, teachers, if you find you're kind of slow and thing, or you have deviant behavior tendencies, when they done work and even they finding your parents home and telling your parents, hey, look, what happened with this child? All this kind of thing. But again, since trade unionism came into the teaching profession, I believe that also had an input too. Because the teachers became more, you know, I feel they came not too close as those days to children who were under the charges. So there's a lot of other issues, and then we have a bunch of academics here who are not helping the cause, right? So that's how it is. But I want to raise something quickly. I know time upon Mr. Madison. I say I had a choice one for you. I don't know if you went to the TSTT. That activity they had there, the retreat in Tobago.
Where you see many retreat caller? You saw Matterson there?
No. I just throwing that in. I do not know because I know that retreat you have to have the best expertise in HR, or in that case HRD, it's human resource development.
A big company to having a retreat for $500,000 is not really strange.
Yeah.
Because a retreat has a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
Especially where you're dealing with strategy and strategic planning and things. And it has a lot of activities that has to take place. And usually when you're doing a retreat, you want to take people away from close to home so that they wouldn't be distracted.
I think with this one was 10 persons.
Huh?
The retreat was 10 persons.
10 persons?
10.
You sure the retreat was 5
Call, are we going to a break?
All the activities before the retreat.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 919 FM.
Boy, I got in an accident a while ago. I was in traffic and my car get bunks from behind.
Well, then they're wrong.
Yeah.
Well, the insurance company go fix it up.
Fix up? Huh? I make my claim the next day. And up to now, I can't hear from the insurance company. I need my car fixed.
Look, you better go to the Financial Services Ombudsman. I'm sure they can help.
Yeah, I'm going to check them now.
To resolve a complaint with your insurance company, bank, or non-bank financial institution, contact the Office of the Financial Services Ombudsman at 800-4FSO or visit www.ofso.org.tt. We can help, and our services are free.
Get ready. This is big. Our first annual epic fundraiser cruise. Sail in the sunset aboard the stunning embassy yacht at King's Wharf, San Fernando. Easter Sunday, 5th April 2026. Boarding 2:30 p.m. sharp. Sunset vibes, sweet music, pure liming on the water. Tickets only $250. All funds for a great cause. Together we change lives. Quick route. No glass bottle, no big coolers. Casual dress, come as a comfy. Payments can be made by Monday, 30th of March 2026. Tickets still available. Call or WhatsApp 683-8569 or 716-4206 right now. Limited spots, don't sleep. Sail in the sunset, Easter Sunday, Embassy Yacht. Let's go.
Southern Games 2026, coming to Skinner Park, San Fernando, Saturday, 21st March. Athletics heats start 9:30 a.m. Sunday, 22nd March. Athletics finals plus cycling from 1:30 p.m. Expect fast sprints, powerful finishes, exciting bike races, and attractive door prizes. Perfect family fun. Cheer on our rising local stars. Tickets, adults, $60. Kids under 14, $20. Under 5, free. Buy now at Atherley's by the Park, Awardy Hardware in Marabella from March 6th onward, or at the gate on the day. More info? Call 368-5649 or 77-83274. Southern Games 2026. With God, all things are possible.
This month, join us for Inside Ramadan, a powerful educational series hosted by SAPA, Southern Academy for the Performing Arts, as we take you deeper into the meaning, traditions, and impact of the Muslim faith whilst we journey towards Eid al-Fitr. Discover the history of Muslims, understand why halal matters, explore Muslims and the economy, whilst learning about the statutes governing Muslim marriages in Trinidad and Tobago, and much more. Hosted by yours truly, Wendy H. Lewis, with insightful conversations featuring distinguished guests, including Senator the Honorable David Nakib, a devout Muslim, along with South businessman Mr. Khayyam Mohammed, and other powerful voices from the Muslim community. Tune in next Thursday the 12th and 19th of March from 1 to 2 p.m. right here on Street 919 FM. Inside Ramadan, as we empower, educate, and edify the nation in alignment with our corporate social responsibility at SAPA, Southern Academy for the Performing Arts.
There's some advice when you hear it. You know one time is good advice. My granny tell me a hot cup of good and natural ginger tea first thing in the morning does wonders for the body. Good and natural ginger tea in its single-size packets is excellent for flavoring your cooking, salads and desserts. But what was news for me is when my granny say a hot cup of good and natural ginger tea helps with nasal congestion and colds, stomach problems, migraine headaches, and it's really good for arthritis in the body. Made from freshly crushed ginger root to get that strong ginger taste and aroma so soothing. Good and natural ginger tea available with or without sugar, so all you need is boiling water to get a cup going. As the old people say, don't take flambeau to see in the night what you could see clear in the day. Good and natural ginger tea. Good advice to start your day right.
Not everything has to change. At KFC, we don't change the flavor, we add more. Now, get our delicious Lent value meals so you can keep on crunching. Get a fish sandwich for $45 or fish fillet with one regular side, also $45. We give you more of the taste you love for Lent. So keep on crunching with KFC. Finger licking good. It's a whole lot of flavor wrapped up in a twist. Some of them try to rap, but they don't rap like this. With crispy KFC tenders and lettuce and carrots and shredded tortilla embedded perfect wherever you headed. Dripping with that creamy mayo and that mambo sauce. Let me tell them one more time to get my point across. It's a craveable, crunchable, movable, functional, flavorful meal that your taste buds must endorse. KFC, crunch twist, crunch twist. None of them, they don't make them like this.
Introducing KFC's Crunch Twist, a flavorful wrap with a delicious difference for just $29.95. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Got a craving for fish this length? Well, no need to talk about it. Hook it reel it in, because KFC is now serving the crunchiest, tastiest, juiciest fish twister wraps. The golden seasoned fish you love, wrapped up in fresh and ready to go. Dive in for only $45 and taste where everybody is making a big splash this length. KFC fish twister wraps. So finger licking good. Do you have an unresolved issue with your bank, non-financial institution or insurance company? If so, the Office of the Financial Services Ombudsman may be here to help you. This service is at no cost to you. For more information on the OFSO, visit the first floor Central Bank Building, Eric Williams Plaza, Independence Square of Port of Spain, or log on to www.ofso.org.tt. email them at info@ofso.org.tt or call the office at 800-4-FSO, which is 800-4376, or contact them via their social media pages on Facebook or Instagram. Guys, the fact is, and you said that, Selvon, we applied discipline and had discipline in a different context. Even in the era we so fantasize and reminisce about. Because we were just talking during the break where teachers took autonomous controls and administrators of their schools. You know, there was always a teacher that thought he was God, he thought he was your parents, and he going out on a limb. He not waiting for you to go home, and when you go home, you can't really say you get licks, because chances are you might get more. And the few fights I saw growing up in primary school, they were frowned upon. By the time them two people pull you apart, somebody hitting you some hand. Now that might end up today in a gunfight. Because parents, everybody's my child. Everybody is my child. My child, my child, my child.
My child is a good child.
Yeah, my child. The boy only react. And the boy father dead when he was 3. That is why he cuffed your son in the face. You hear the logic?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get his school shoe for him, and he just acting out. He had no father figure, he had no love. Sparrow sing about that now. Sparrow sing about that. So we do have to balance what is our social reality, which I agree you say it. You know, we do have to balance our social reality. However, we need to pull the thread. We have to thread the needle somewhere. And we can't have people having fun in Double Palm and in other places, and then Selvon and them sitting down to discuss a solution. Selvon was not there, you know.
So when you really calling a certain place name, I wonder if there's some level of sponsorship that's taking place that we don't know. You get paid by...
I will not use that.
Probably getting free rooms in the night.
I can take the call. I can take the call. Hey, he went stink and dirty. Don't let him fool you. He ain't sure he stink and dirty pictures. Alright, he said it was heaven. Yeah. He reached down, he take a chopper. 5 hours to go in there. He said when he reached there, he said, oh God. He said, here English, she whined on me unprovoked. He did not do anything to deserve that.
Innocent.
No, he innocent. He had his hand behind the back. Let's take this caller. Caller, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Well, it's 3 hours this evening. So good afternoon, Mr. Selvan. Good afternoon, Mr. Stephen. And good afternoon, Mr. Rolex.
Welcome.
All right. Good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. Good afternoon, God. And well, everybody get the afternoon there, boy. Yeah, right, okay. Now, God really talk a subject there and say, well, we talk about the children this evening. So I realizing God talking, and he asking question and he answering too. Because God in the midst of everything. Now, all you're talking about the children, and God want to say, or you put down some internet in the world that teaching children today. That is the post standard of my composition. I know that it have a lot of delinquent parents, because children making children and all of that. But we already know that. That was going on a long time ago. It still had moments when a parent will be good, they that way the child will be good. But for the longest while, I had 60 and change, and watching all my schoolmates who are children and who are family. I may not have none, but I don't know what do they. But it's when I watch this situation, I see the change of time when the WWW start to work upon the face of the earth. Great intelligence it have, but it have great ignorance in it too. I remember the last time when Sister Canela, she gave the children and them laptop. I remember that time well. But you know what happening? Yeah. Damn children, even up to this, they could teach all parents. I used to see what a lot of children would go behind, not the intelligent thing of going to school work and bringing yourself developed, you know. A lot of children start to see the AK-40 and the AK-90 and the 21, so and the 9 and the 5 and the G40 and all of that they've seen. They see that more than me. But they also see a society where bullyism from Chinese picture, from gun picture, from all the things that go in their mind to be able to bully the players. They're seeing the porns, they see more porn than me. I don't watch porn because I have time, but them see all. I'm going to tell me about plenty porn now. I don't know where they're going with. How they say the children, everybody children, or they all experience. Because you're talking about the parents, you know it's parents, because they can't control them, they're disrespecting, or yeah, no, they're putting them to plenty of it. How was something good? I remember something good, you know, but I think that's something real, because what I see out here in society, me and the children are watching all this. And I'm watching all who disrespecting me. I'm watching those who doing good too. I'm watching those who willing to do good because they don't want to end up like the parents, or they don't want to end up like the neighbor next door. I'm seeing all of that. But what I'm seeing mostly is Donald Trump and all of them people and them who they want to make a totalitarian system. They don't care about nobody. They kill 90,000 people in a day. The train watching that. What is the position? Them could dead in the morning. So what the hell? They not do what I have to do because they're doing me anything. They're saying they're helping me, but they're using me. Because they're using children to make tomorrow for themselves. Yeah, so I'm going to win. And the parents in trouble here too, because the parents were living under the system that they are slave under. So we're just trying to be. Don't blame because I tell you, they start to blame children, I blame all you too. Because the children make children. Children still making children. And they can't control the children because some of them didn't get no control. Some of them keep none. Some of them didn't make themselves to be controlled. So what are we talking about today? All right, I talk enough for the. I'll run the show. So let me say all you have to say because I know we're blaming. Really, truly. We really supposed to be blaming the system that bring this system today. Who looking for totalitarianism? Look what's going on in the world presently. What a child saying, what a child watching. Is that child who watching? Is that child who don't watching? What is seeing? Thank you.
Blow, Mr. Fiddler.
Blow.
Well, at least we know the president don't watch porn. At least we sure that. We sure that. Keep that up, Mr. President. I would advise you not to venture. You see the sign, when you click on the mouse and see enter at your own risk, don't enter that. Don't enter. But it is a totally different era.
You listen to Parliament, Sunday there's some walk out of the Parliament and there's some, no, last week and there are some loud voices singing and so forth.
Why does it do that?
Huh?
Why does it do that?
No, but what I'm saying, I watched some Parliament. I saw one Parliament where one MP pelt a chair at an ex-man and so forth across the aisles. And I agree with what President saying. Sometimes we criticize the children, but we are the example that we see. You know.
I tell you, meet the parents.
We seeing where that there's a resemblance of what the child grew up on, you know, is nurtured on and so forth, you know. Society breeds all of that, and then we complain about it. Come like you give him man rum to drink, and when he get drunk, you vex with him. But you was giving him rum.
And that is the reason that supports holding them accountable. Because at the end of the day, you shape the child. You make children, but you want a lime. The children unsupervised. Because you on the boat. We're going on when you're on the boat.
It's really a large, a bigger problem. Yes, we start one area.
Yeah.
But if we really want to fix society and fix the ills of the school environment, all organs of the government system must work. One alone can't work, where the Attorney General making laws, but the rest are working.
That it works synergistically.
Yes.
Yes, in synergy, correct.
So they have to understand that, understand the data, that understand the science. That it have to be data driven. You must know where things are. You must know who is who. You must know how to fix it.
Yeah. If we can't control children, we did talk about gang leader. If we can't control children in a school.
You know, like a child, I know last you all had children and had birth and so forth, like young children. But I understand the system now. Probably a caller might enlighten us. So when a child is born, you have to make an appointment to go to register the child, wherever and so forth. So during that period, there's no real record that this child exists in the system, you know. Yes, and the gap we have in the 21st century talking about a child.
It's about record in the hospital, so like in the States, for instance. That same process you're talking about, that happen in the hospital.
No, but in the States, you get a birth paper, you try and leave with the birth paper, and you try and leave with your birth paper from the hospital, you know.
Exactly.
You were registered, your
printer.
footprint and stamped.
Footprint,
footprint stamp in the before you leave.
Me. The printer was working.
No, because you know in the hospital the child don't have a name. The child was born, it don't have a name.
John Doe?
The child born until the child go in the, what they call it, these office and put a name is a John Doe.
Right.
And what I'm saying, these are small fixes. The child born, most parents don't have the name already, with child in the belly and so forth. What I'm saying, we always come in after the fact. After 4 nutsman get bounced on the highway and all kind of thing, and 2 man run off and trend dead, then we go say, hey, let me stop them fellas from being on the highway selling nuts. You understand? And Palm City and Pineapple and so forth.
There's a saying.
We wait till this school thing then reach to this magnitude overnight. It didn't know, boom, one day it happened every day. No, it didn't happen so. And then we react, and we're always doing that as a society, and we have to be more responsible. The data is just, man, say from day one, start collecting the data.
And tracking.
And the same thing, I mean, I like to use the microcosm, the workplace,
all the time.
All the time, as the example. If you want to run an efficient company, you have to use the data. You have to know who is who, and I'm talking from a human resource management perspective.
Know your workers.
Know your worker, you know the challenges, you know everything. You have a good HRS system. You know, you have the data. You know who need training. You know when they need training, because you would have things like exit interviews. You would have different things which are data collecting, and use the data to run your company.
Yeah.
And the same thing, but it starts with the strategy. It starts with the vision and the mission and the strategic objective, and it scales down to recruiting and selection and all these things. But what I'm saying is, if you treat with the country the same way, you will have a perfectly run organ, right?
100% agree.
But you know, it goes back to why that is not happening, why they don't want to do it. You think it's about money? It's not about that. It's about popularity, it's about belly the cat, it's about losing that. Right? If you belly the cat, you could get eat. And some politicians on both sides just don't want to do that at this time. They know. Listen, you remember I said on, I think it's one of Philip Alexander shows a couple of years ago, that I was part of a meeting. I was part of when we had a meeting in St. Augustine, Ronaldo, sometime in 2013. And we invited Dr. Rowley. That was the university students.
Yes.
And we told Dr. Rowley, listen, a good thing to do is, I remember I came up with that suggestion, a good thing to do is to have a national identification system and thing. And he said we wouldn't get that support. He even win the election, yeah, they don't even know how he win, but he said they ain't going to get that support from the opposition. Right? And it was never even brought up. All through the last term you hear them talking about digital transformation and all kind of
just talk.
All kind of bleepery. You just saying, but nothing happened. Today we still in the stage where we still go to the street, a man walking down the road, you don't know who he is, a man go and do some robbery or something, you don't know how to find him, you don't know You don't know nothing. You're operating like blind Batimas.
Well, boy, in this instance, I don't know. You may look at it some other time. We don't have it to show. But I saw the video of the shooting with Colin Gray's son. And they have a video that looks like a movie from the time he stepped on the school bus. He didn't shoot nobody yet. They have him with the sack on his back and he covered it like he carrying artwork to school. Nobody searched him. It's a school bus with children. But they have every frame. They have him when he went in the toilet to put on his mask. So they're not asking. So
that's just like in Britain. And you could get. You remember I tell you all about that situation.
It was a 2-week trial, you know.
Yeah.
I record here, you know.
Yeah.
2 weeks now.
Yeah. You remember I told you all about that situation in Atlanta in 2004.
Yeah.
I was in Atlanta. And a marshal, a gentleman attacked a marshal in the court and killed him and was on the run. And within about 15 minutes of that, every single billboard
had a man up.
Had a man up. Every pity of that man, where he is, who he is, and that kind of thing. He was on as a manhunt.
They know
exactly where that's 2004.
No. I feel so. They didn't have a state of emergency.
What state of emergency?
See what I'm getting at?
Right?
What technology do they?
If you see something,
that is like old technology.
And this one again,
say something.
How long ago that happened?
Like 22 years or so now.
22 years ago, they was doing that out there. We in 2021 having state of emergency to catch bandit.
Right?
Billboard is for Guardian Life.
I'm telling
Guardian Life.
That it surprises me what passes for good sense and
for policing in Trinidad
and all that kind of thing in Trinidad.
Craziness.
Yeah.
When you travel and you see what goes on out there, boy, you don't even want to. You frightened to live here because anybody could be a statistic anytime and no US.
My eldest child is 36 years. So 36 years ago, he walked out the hospital. We walk out with blood paper. Uncle Sam knew he existed before he left. You understand what I'm saying? That's 36 years ago. We are so close to that. We are close to that.
Your child born in the hospital.
You had to go up the road to make an appointment. You had to go up Arima to do the only bar house to sign a write a thing and
write a thing to get about something to take to the birth people. All the madness.
That's why they fight it in school.
Everything is crazy.
It's going mad.
We still live in
we mad.
Going nowhere quickly. We are real talk, but we building real building on highway.
We behaving like we on Fraggle Rock.
What's one? We driving in Miami, and this long time I talking about. You see, we bill you by plate, right? RFID on the road, everything integrated.
Nobody had to run you down.
Nobody had to run you
down. And
no
technology, Matty.
Right? Nobody had to run you down for nothing. You see no police.
We not running you down.
Right?
Coming to you.
By plate, as you pass, your plate get registered. We know who won the, we know.
It's sure to come.
Your taxes being paid.
Yep.
It's sure to come. It's sure.
And this is old technology we're talking about.
Come now, man.
But we discussing it. We need to have a discussion.
We still talking about body cam and how expensive it is and how it was then and what it do and you still can't use the footage. All kind of madness. Listen, like crazy people talk.
Craziness.
We should be having them kind of discussion in this kind
so that is why we don't know who responsible is in the school. When we train the ball, there's a saying that says a child only educated at school is an uneducated child.
And don't talk about when you go to those perfect societies like Norway and Singapore and that kind of thing and see how things work in the price of a car in Singapore is probably more than what it is per capita dollar for dollar than what it is in Trinidad. You know why?
Why?
You know why? Because public transportation in Singapore is impeccable.
It's so efficient. You don't need a car.
It's so efficient. You have to be rich to own a car. You don't need a car. It's so efficient any hour, any time. So you'll see people any hour of the day and night moving around, working, going to work on the ports or whatever.
I can imagine what that does for economy.
Yeah?
So
What it does for economy, productivity.
I can imagine.
So we're looking at the school children, but we in a broken society. So nitpicking which one we go at. And this one again, I did we nitpicking the training. So it raised up. And this thing happened, we nitpick.
It's Scandinavian thing. Police station, man, you get lock up so. Listen, do the research. Police station is closed and think they were.
We nitpicking at things.
You see man handcuff and all them things so.
So
you are real violent criminal.
Our crime fighting, our legislation deal with sensationalism, that which is popular at the moment we deal with. But there are a number of low-hanging fruit that could bring about a level of discipline in the society, you know. If we say we discipline, let we be disciplined across the board. Let you don't decide what we're being disciplined with. And this is what again at. Like, oh, we'll be disciplined with this, but this now, let you don't be disciplined with that as the case will be.
Well, I have said that. We cherry pick.
And we spoke about it last week.
Cherry pick with everything.
This is it. And this is why people just don't take people serious. We said PH is illegal and we think and we will lock you up and we think. Trinidad operate 24 hours in terms of the work environment, yeah?
Yeah.
But taxis are working all 6, 7 o'clock. Taxi down, them going home, the maxi home.
So all the people going home, man. You have no good public transportation system.
How them going to work or going home when they finish work 9, 10 in the night as the case will be? When there are no, as you say, no efficient public transportation system. But you tell the PH man, he can't walk. So he say, here we can't, all of we going home. We're going to happen on the streets in the night.
That's why we have so many informal economies.
So this is why he doing an illegal act that is so necessary for our industries to keep working.
And they had to play hopscotch from the police. And sometimes in the night. It makes no sense. We're not thinking.
So what I'm saying is that, you try and fighting and so forth, but that is not all that going in society that we can, other agencies cannot be addressing other things that are happening.
Let's take this call. Good afternoon, caller.
Caller, good evening.
Good afternoon to you, gentlemen.
Welcome.
What you all talking about on this camera, I think all you want to eliminate bubble and racket. I don't want to use the word corruption. What's wrong with you all?
He's right. He's right, because I could see, I don't even understand why is it a discussion. Why are we discussing these things?
Why are we discussing that?
It's obvious they knew who Colin Gray's son was, because he all over the school camera, in the toilet, on the bus, and they could get the footage. From the time they leave his house, they show him like a movie.
Yeah.
So they're not asking, they're not trying to find out who it is. You know, we play that
where
game.
He is, or where he is.
You have to describe him for me.
So we operated in silos too, because the New Tobago Airport, by the way, has that technology, has that camera technology. What you talking about, It has that. You come in the airport, that's a new airport, come in the airport, and anywhere you go, once you enter that airport, a camera is on you. And they could pull you up, they could watch you, they could see what you do everything. If you come into a crime in the airport, you're bound to get catch in the airport. And they know you by name and everything, because once you pass through the system and you get everything, they have a system integrated in the system. But that's happening. So, I would want to see probably more of that. But more than that, I would want to see the legislation to be able to use that kind of information effectively to prosecute.
Are we able to use camera footage in our courts as yet?
It depends.
I say that tongue in cheek.
It depends on certain things. Right? It's just like...
Because I know in lineup right now in police station, do they have the one-way mirrors where you can identify that is the man 1, 2, 3, 4? Or you said they're going to touch the man? You said they're going to touch him?
No, I think Laukata and all them places had that system.
One-way mirror?
Yeah, you could
point the man and say that's the
touch a man?
I know that we used to do it a long time. I know if those things change. If you had I must check that out.
Kind of jokey. This kind of jokey thing.
Well, a 38-year-old man was fatally shot outside his apartment in Davide just hours before he was scheduled to appear in court. The victim, Isaiah Garcia, was found dead along the roadway near his rented apartment at 1st Street West. Police reported that the residents heard several gunshots, and officers responding to the scene discovered Garcia lying on the road with multiple gunshot wounds. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Investigators confirmed that Garcia has been out on bail for a shooting-related offense and was wearing a court-ordered ankle monitoring device at the time of his attack. He had been scheduled to appear in court at 9 a.m., less than 2 hours after the fatal shooting.
Well, he could give an ankle bracelet.
Well, that is one. And apparently we're not operating in silos. You see an ad with he and the ankle bracelet because somebody else knew. And they know where he was and they know what court he was supposed to appear in.
No, but more importantly, they know who shot him.
The police probably wanted back then.
No, they didn't see the one.
We had no footage, no vehicle,
footage, what
nothing of who shot him. So what is the next move here now?
Well, I would think.
What you thinking?
Guy's not the commissioner, right? We have a street jail commissioner too. Remember, he went in jail for gun-related shooting, right?
Yeah.
He didn't go in for land dispute.
All right.
Right? So that has narrowed down the pool.
You probably shoot somebody and they shoot somebody.
That will narrow down the pool. He didn't thief mango. Let me narrow down all the other stories. Why he out on bail? Good? And you know, I don't know if he was a state, I don't know. But he's appeared to court today and he's wearing a monitoring bail. Why are we monitoring him if he's not being followed in some kind of way?
No, but the thing is,
I don't know.
it might be, this might be another initiative, I mean, to reduce the overcrowded prisons and that kind of thing. So
But you arguing my point. But we know he's out for shooting and he's going to a court today. John.
But is that a bailable offense? We are still a bail for gun-related things?
Yeah. Remember they won that. Remember something expired and you could get bail for those things now.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't want to keep a man in jail.
No, don't keep him. That's my point. We have information that he's supposed to be appearing in court today.
Yeah.
I will tag him. We have the information. Send that car where he living. Down by the crossings. Louis, what time is court? Good? Because here what's going on. He don't have to make it, you know. But we know that. It's the day you're paying in court. I shocked the gentleman last long. They didn't go for him the day before. So you see how easy it is for a criminal, eh? What time is court, boy? I will just wait here.
You have to come outside.
No, come out
You have to come outside.
and soap, bathe in the yard.
He can't air come.
He can't air come. And bicycle. You have only monitor, but nobody monitoring that really. You understand? That monitor is if he go away, if he take on a plane. So nobody didn't think about he may not make it to court.
That is a nice conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
But the thing is, there's a reality to that, because you remember last week we were talking about how many people, as you and I was talking about, how many people pay $50,000 to get a firearm, some of whom never get.
Yeah.
How many people? But we still arguing why the police should still be in control of that process. And we know it has corruption.
Yeah.
We know it has corruption there for sure. But we still arguing why the police should have control of that system. And we could take that out and put that in the hands of a special agency designed to issue firearms. Because clearly, normal people who do have...
The requirement to get a contract of that agency will be 50 years experience in dealing with guns.
Well,
and you know how much people on that list?
What guns? Why you need to have experience in dealing with guns?
Policy is policy. Just
right?
policy.
you want is one kind of license you offer. You find a license for man with a hand.
Listen.
What experience you had?
Listen.
All you want to know is this person psychologically fit or whatever.
No, I'm talking about the agency. The criteria will be that you have 50 years experience dealing with firearm. How many people fit that bill who could tender for that?
No, why would the agency need to have that?
Because you issuing firearms.
Yeah, but that
Like no popcorn.
Listen.
You'll want people who know about firearms.
Yeah, but what kind? If you're issuing one kind of firearm, one kind of caliber, or what you're issuing what AK-47s? What you're issuing?
No, yeah.
It's people who looking to protect themselves with a handgun. Most of the people who apply for a gun, Selvan, you will know that. It's people looking for a firearm to protect themselves and the property.
No, I'll answer him. The same people in the parliament who passed the law for the commissioner of police to issue what kind of firearm, you know. Them have 50 years firearm experience in the parliament who passed the law. You understand? So I just shifting your point aside there.
Right? Hypothetically.
Hypothetically.
Right? The thing is, you don't need that. Just set up an agency. Take that away from the police. The
Set
police
some
corrupt.
policy, yeah.
You know that you could get a firearm license.
No. No,
Right?
but
You
see,
wouldn't even try because you
answering my question. You answering my question from the opposite end.
You know you can't get
I
firearm license.
am saying to you.
I know you can't get firearm
Well, I
license.
never
don't
tried.
pay 50,000 here. I know I don't
But
pay
me
50,000.
want you one cell phone, I could borrow yours. I ain't going for that. You don't rent that?
He's a madman. Something called ballistics. You know? Everybody with that firearm, the ballistics is recorded somewhere.
Where?
Forensic department. Forensic. As they buy a gun, you have to go and do forensic.
Yeah, I want to shoot that gun.
Yeah. A lot of police themselves
So
know
you
that
gotta
too.
rent that gun. You look in the red
Don't tell
trouble.
that. Some police themselves know that too. Because when you are licensed firearm holder, get an altercation and shoot, the police want to keep his gun, you know, to do ballistics. When you purchase a firearm, you have to go and do ballistic forensic one time with it. And there's a record.
Yeah.
So if you're going to shoot somebody, you just have to go and look at the ballistics and you know, hey, that Harry gun we shoot that man, you know.
Where that happening?
But that happens in Trinidad.
Where that happening?
No, I tell you, police say, hey, you have to leave your gun, you know, because you was involved in a shooting.
And your gun might shoot somebody else too.
You know, the man know the police take your gun and come for you now. Yeah, no gun.
Well, they're telling me how things supposed to work. There have been numerous reports in the papers about police officers renting their firearm. Ballistics is another mystery. Them is things that we're reading about, you know. Where that happening in Germany, what are they talking about?
I don't think our police have a firearm assigned to it. He have the government gun. So when that happens, you'll find police shells or military shells in a place where you can say, well, John James or Julia Harry was the carrier of that firearm.
But the point is, I was telling you the differentiation between what's supposed to happen and what will happen. There'll be no way that any independent organization will be in charge of that. And if it is, you know who it's going to be. It's going to be somebody who have to have 50 years experience in handling guns and weapons. That list short so. And everybody on that list is cousin. And they're going to end up by a cousin. That is how the corruption exists.
The corruption has started.
That's exactly how it exists. Because, for instance...
Are you talking about Trinidad?
Yes, it's Trinidad I'm talking about.
There are systems where you can...
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. Because we have had a theory, we want to get back to what we're talking about, but just this segue, where we feel the answer to state corruption is to privatize. Because we make the assumption that there's a distinction between the state and the private sector. But that is not always so. Because yesterday I stepped down as director, you know, I only win government, today I became MP, you know. I give it to my wife. What's the difference between the state and the private sector then? It's just yesterday I was a director of the company, you know, but we win, the party win, so you have to take off your name, cell phone, take off your name, take off your name.
Blind trust, they call it. That's the word they call it. You do a blind trust.
Yeah.
Still your company?
Yeah. At the end of the day, so in this where we're talking about discipline and parents and schools, we know this ain't really a hard this is not really a puzzle for all intents and purposes.
It isn't.
But it is surely a microcosm of the bigger issues of crime.
Yeah.
Because these are school children who wearing a shirt and a pants and a school bag, and we seem to be unable to quell it. And it's not everybody either. It is not like we have a mass, you know? It's true, 2, 3, 4, 5 children terrorizing a school.
Yep.
When you went to school, a first former could terrorize a school, the children will beat you. You too small to get trouble. That what they go tell you, big school. When you want big school and you are first former, you's nobody. You can't be getting the teacher trouble. I can get the teacher trouble, I ain't form 5. But you, the discipline, the children themselves will enforce a type of discipline to show you, well, nah, that is not how you carry on. You never hear about Mr. Brown, or Mr. Brown, let's be dreaded. Mr. Brown, let's cane bad. You'll get all these stories from the older children to set you in line and set you in a particular motion. Good. And you didn't have to worry about parents coming on the compound. Because when my parent would have come on the compound, I would have had to be to run. It would have been me to run.
Yep.
If your parent come on the compound, is you. Now is the teacher at the bricks, the principal at the bricks, the security at the bricks. So it is a very different environment that these children are noticing that things are happening without consequence. I remember some of my students used to tell me, so you telling me about read and learn, so the boss don't know read license, the boss have 4 car.
And you driving.
And you driving, so boy. So you telling me about read and get license and get, sir, the boss have big contracts, sir. I work already too. They're telling me all kind of crime are going on there. So I might exaggerate. But these are the things that they're seeing. They're seeing contradictions in everything.
Yeah.
Everything. Yeah. So when you tell them about consequences, go to school and learn well, otherwise later on in life, that sounds like a poem. That sounds like a poem to me.
That's because we didn't set all the things in train from small. Remember we talk about everything in train from small. Know everyone. I mean 1.3, 1.4 million people. I mean it's too hard to do that. Right? And therefore you can almost have a perfect society like Norway and all them Scandinavian countries.
And it's so funny because, you know, even when you talk to people in the underworld or criminal world, they too have their rules. The boss man has rules too, you know. You feel the boss man want excuses, you could get a teacher excuse. But when the boss tell you go so and pick up that, don't pick it up now. You could get your teacher excuse, boy. Not when the boss or the leader tell you ABC, XYZ. So the same rules we fail to apply to order the people, and sometimes that is what attract young men. Because they go join the little gang, they go join the little group, because I next in line, you know, to be shooter.
Correct.
I next in line, the boss don't tell me, and when the boss tell me I gain something, I gain it, you know. Me, you know how it come? Listen, the boss say, here, buy that Jordan.
But what about when the boss give your parents money to buy school books for you?
All right. And the Christmas treat.
Christmas treat in the community, Christmas, the boss.
Everybody get toys.
Toys.
For everybody. Dollars Coke.
Yep.
Dollars Coke. Correct.
So there are so much things we try to, so if we juxtapose and say, well, yeah, I think the parents, but there's so much influence. Or so much things influencing the behavior that comes out of a home and enters into a school. Yeah.
Because I remember one of my students was saying to me, at a time I was very angry at him because he didn't do homework. He says, sir, big man thing, I can't do no homework. I not do no homework, you know. That's what you mean. Well, you know, I done start to gain my gears already. You're telling me you're not doing it. I said, so why you not doing it? No, in my younger days, that conversation would have been very short. But times change, you have to be wise. You have to be very wise.
Yeah, you can't brace it. Yeah.
He says, sir, I had 2 brothers home. Both of them illiterate. I say, so what's the problem? He doesn't have that in family. What that have to do with you? He said, one that sell coke and one that sell weed. So it's me, John, Jeffrey, and the police. So the police just visit me every other night. Them in the house. One running so, the next one running so. So this idea about home. Home. We're in there. Now remember, I didn't grow up like that. I had a table and a desk somewhere. It might have been rickety. A little lamp. You know, parents provide. So we make a lot of assumptions, and that is what COVID taught us. COVID taught us that we make a lot. Put on your camera. No, sir. I can't put on my camera. If that child put on that camera, you'll be shocked at what you see. You'll be shocked at what you see. Sign putting on no camera. Some of the children shame because of the living conditions. Good? They're sitting down on a little thing by the window. Because remember COVID, everybody was home. Little brother in our next room. 5 children in that 3 room. And school going on. How?
Your nanny was step trying
Yeah, internet. You don't even have proper internet. We make a lot of assumptions. We do.
Yes.
We do.
That was one of the problems.
We do. We assume that I heard some of my girls sometimes talking about sex. And it was the funniest sex story I ever hear. You could see, I don't know where they read it. When they ever hear they were maybe third formers. If you hear the baby making story, it sounds like Disney World. I started to laugh to myself. I didn't get involved because I was just supervising them. But then I'm saying, who teaching them? We take it for granted because somebody maybe taught us. But who teaching them? Is this we teaching them? And this could tell you truth and lie. If you can't discern this will lead you down the wrong path.
Then you have the music too.
Then it had the music too. So I say what my parents taught me. But not everybody falls it in that train. Because sometimes when you pull them up, they will tell you, son, that's not the way. You see 2 big people talking, you don't walk between. They say, sir, nobody never tell me that, sir. I didn't. How I grew up is everything is anything. Daddy tell you so and so, and you tell back daddy you're so and so, and how we going. Good. And at the end of the day, go and buy 2 cigarettes for me. And I nip. I tell him you want nip for it. On the way back, one of the cigarettes disappear. Because you meet up with your partner and them, you have to try something. And the nip have a little crack, it crack a little bit.
You might throw water.
Yeah, throw water in it. You growing up yourself like Huckleberry Finn. Yes. Is you really in charge of you there, Yes. Because the characters are wrong here. Yeah. Daddy on your own beat. Good? Daddy telling you. I remember one child. We hold one for gambling. The father come and chuck him up. I thought I tell you not to gamble in school. Leave that for home. The truth is, when daddy doing whatever he doing, he just be throwing dice on the block. He doesn't see the distinction. He can't read too good. This place boring. It's a set of books all day.
He looking to survive too because
he looking to survive. Survival.
Exactly. He looking to survive.
He throwing a little dice. He throwing a little dice. Now daddy come and say, well, I tell you leave this habit for home. You know? But exactly what some children do at home, they come in school to do.
Correct.
They come in school to do. So I agree with you, Mr. Mitchell. It's very layered. You know? And some of them 3 can't bend. Some of them 3 can't bend. They cannot bend at this stage.
They reach too far.
Yeah. They're overexposed. They're over-sexualized.
Now, are we saying well, although we I don't know if this stats on school violence. Every day is 200 children fighting. I don't know. Is there any stats on it?
I don't know what the daily stats. Let me engage this caller. Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Something like you're making dollars and you're making cents.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I continue to say it's time that we stop injecting the young papa that fell on the ground and let us deal with the proper street. So, as you all are on this topic, let me give a notice and a round of applause. I think we have started to deal with crime. We have started to deal with so many branches in that tree. I am a parent as well, grandfather. But this is how I see it. Everybody's views, I respect it. But you see, this topic that you're on, this thing is so wide I can't get around it. It's so high I can't get over it. You will come and say it. We all as parents need to be more responsible and have to accept the blame for our children is going to be. I know there may be who might disagree with one thing, but this is how I see. We can go on blaming each other because, you know, the music that we play, the radio stations we listen, the places we go, the shows we watch, the friends we keep, is connected to our destination. And we as parents, our role as parents is a bigger role than we use. So I'm saying all of this to see. I agree with the Prime Minister. Kudos to her. I think she started in the head. I'm waiting to see which one of us. Because sometimes I wonder if we see us in this country to deal with crime. When they start to deal with it, they make point in the world. You know, and everything we try to touch on to deal with crime, it seems like we have a problem with it. So let me see how it goes now. I'm on standby. I know that I have a responsibility to be responsible in what I do and say. I have a responsibility to be a role model into the 5 things I just mentioned. And I'm, so, of course, supposed to be ambitious, creative, productive, hardworking, try to be honest, stay on the right path, so that, you know, we do understand that some things will never change. That's just the way it is. But we, as parents, myself, I want to encourage especially black people. You look at it however they want, and say one time, whatever they want at one time. At the end of the day, I think we need to try it harder. My friend, Dr. and listen, let me give somebody else a chance.
Thank you, Carlo.
I remember some time ago, some similar, like this topic happened with children and so forth, and I just pulled back the song, the Bounty Killer sang a song that says, look into my eyes.
Well, you know about Bounty Killer.
I want you to, I mean, I know a Bounty Killer, boy. How day, boy.
It's not Sammy Davis Jr. you talk about.
Look. We're talking about that's what you know about Bounty Killer and thing, boy. Super Cat and all of them.
All right.
So, Burning Spear. Shaka Demus.
Right, all right, sir, all right.
Moss and
Pliers. And Pliers.
Buju and you know.
So,
look into my eyes.
Look into my eyes.
Tell me what you see.
Tell me what you see.
I know it well, yeah.
And you understand the fella where he come from and his what predicated his behavior when he reach outside. He said, look into my eyes. Tell me what you see.
Yeah. Do you feel my pain? Am I your enemy?
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And sometimes we have to go deep, you know. Sometimes a child fighting is crying out for kind of help, you know. From a place they come from that is so putrid and vile that their reaction is symbolic of an environment that has poisoned their conscious thinking, you know.
We had a fight.
And this is why I say, the superficial thing, yeah, charge the parents, but we have fixed the problem. The child is still broken.
I agree.
And we have to address that brokenness because that child become an adult today that might be in bracelet.
That's why I said that we have to, it's a
multifaceted approach.
You can't just make parents responsible.
Brilliant.
Do a number.
Yeah, right? That is what I see.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Number of things,
yes.
Right? So you have to take care of a number of things at the same time. You see the social, that's really important.
Yes.
I always make the example where they try to put water in this bottle, and when it's full, the water know where to go, you know, it overflow.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So you have to take care of that.
Yeah,
if you take care of that,
we'll always have the next problem.
You'll have a different kind of problem.
Yeah.
Correct.
Brilliant.
You have people
Brilliant.
doing some crazy thing you didn't even expect them to do, and people saying, listen, I give up on her.
So I have a next problem
Whatever
now. So I have a next problem now.
Right?
Yeah. Because
so you have to deal
as
with
much
everything.
as we preach education, we have to ask ourselves if today education is totally necessary for survival.
No, they're too late to rile up now.
For survival. Survival is the basic instinct, you know.
Well, what we just call education?
Yes, study, man.
Yeah? the difference with that and intelligence and all of that is a big difference.
Yep.
Sell water, come to school, get trouble. Sell water, come to school and get trouble. But I sell water.
Yeah.
Good?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Because for some people, if you don't have that buffer of somebody giving you money every day to travel and everything, at the end of the day, survival, when you look at the attrition rate of school children in third form, when they reach the age where they could afford to get a work in a grocery, you understand?
They're taking that.
They're taking that.
You have to understand, and we'll deal with we'll deal with survival from an employment standpoint and a minimum wage, things that we're familiar with, and how it impacts now the child, the school, the behavior, and the society as a whole.
Correct.
Really and truly. And we look at how that could be negative in the long run. Really, not paying a man well.
So we also have to look at what school is offering, the diet that schools offer. If you're not coding and all these kind of things, what you gain in school? You gain a trade? We still having that? We ain't having that, I know. Because our trade is survival.
Well, listen, first thing we had to do, more than anything else, is to train people to think critically. Because if you do that, you mightn't even need, probably the best teachers are on YouTube to learn anything you want. But train people to think critically, and once you train people to think critically, and you...
But that means you go free them.
Eh? You free them.
Yeah.
That's a good reason why you should keep them in the morals.
Then you go free them.
You want them to be free.
No, sir.
Make laws and lock them up.
Oh my God.
Senior Matheson, 15 seconds out, take us out.
Right, so ladies and gentlemen, as usual, we talk about the cricket, and it is this time we are about to leave the show today, but tomorrow we certainly will come on again with some great ideas.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 919 FM.
You want to find something great to do with your Tuesday nights? You want to learn and understand the true reason for Jesus? Then join us every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. for the program, This Same Jesus, the program that puts Jesus in his rightful place in our hearts and in our homes. Let's bring church home to you. Join us every Tuesday nights from 8 to 9 p.m. with your hosts, Kempes and Kevin. Be inspired, be blessed right here on the street 91.9 FM.